Oh man, it compressed it all to shit. All right, hold on. We're gonna go back to damn it. I was gonna go back to this, damn it. I was hoping it wasn't gonna compress it to hell, but it did. That makes me very upset. All right, we'll do it one more time here. Third time's a charm.
Once there was a future bright, where men could dream in black and gold. Captains bold and Vulcans wise, stories that would never grow old. We explored the stars for knowledge, not for soap opera tears. No crying empaths, no spore drives, no endless war and fears. But then came discovery, burning bright and burning wrong. Michael Burnham saved the day again in every single song. They darkened up the galaxy, made heroes into wrecks, turned hope into a therapy session. What the hell did they expect? Star Trek is dead, they killed it slow. Discovery lit the funeral pyre, let the ashes blow. Strange new worlds danced on the grave with callbacks cheap and loud. And Starfleet sold a soul away to a woken weeping crowd. No more to boldly go, just feel my pain and cry it out. The final frontier's boarded up, the lights have all gone out. They gave us Pike and #1, thought we'd cheer and clap our hands, but turned the bridge into a drama club with romance in the stands. Gorn got scary, Spock got feelings, Cannon bent and broken too. Episodic charm, they tried it once, then drowned it in deja vu. They promised wonder, gave us arcs that drag across the years, filled the screen with trauma porn and therapy fueled tears. Where's the prime directive? Where's the debate of right and wrong? Now it's all about the feelings and singing the same damn song. Star Trek is dead, they killed it slow. Discovery lit the funeral pyre, let the ashes blow. Strange new worlds danced on the grave with callbacks cheap and loud. And Starfleet sold the soul away to a woken weeping crowd. No more live long and prosper, just process your trauma now. The 5-year mission's over, friend, and no one's asking how. They say it's evolving, say it's new, say Roddenberry would approve. But Gene would see the mirror crack, the message lost, the heart removed. Academy kids in blue Klingon drag, preaching lessons we don't need, while the old guard fades to black and the fans are left to bleed. Star Trek is dead, we watched it die. Discovery held the knife. Strange new worlds wave goodbye. Starfleet buried what was great under layers of CGI. The stars are cold, the dream is gone. No reason left to try. Exastrous, nothing now, just silence in the sky. Beam me up, there's nothing left to see.
Oh, he gone. Oh, he gone finally. "10 years of pissing away money."
They dragged the corpse to San Francisco shores. Cadets in blue, but no fire in their cores. Holly Hunter preaching, Paul Giamatti scheming, while the old guard goes.
So, yeah, they said today that he's gone. Like, it's official, he's gone. Yes, Red Letter Media will be quite happy. Nerdrotic's probably going to do a victory lap. It's a good birthday present for him. So, apparently, this is quite a shock to him. DS9's my favorite series, and my favorite movie is First Contact. I remember seeing First Contact in theaters with my family as a kid, and it scared the shit out of me. Like, I had nightmares about being assimilated because I was a little kid when it came out. But it was the first movie that non-Star Trek fans went and saw because it was such just a good movie in general. Hope you guys like the music I wrote for this a while ago. And it not only drove the nail for this everything Kurtman's done, but once it aired, it did so poorly that they pretty much like said, "Yeah, you're fired." Like, directors called him up and we're like, "Yeah, you're fired." And they're like, "You got to finish up your contract, but yeah, you're out." Catholic Kennedy Jr. application to Paramount? No, so they learned. But the kids ain't watching, they're scrolling in the flood. I'm still telling people I'm online and stuff because I did the intro a little quick. Kurtzman's era is starting to break. Frakes directs the finale, then the curtain falls. No more episodes echoing in the halls. This is the nail, the hammer swing is done. Star Trek's in the ground, thanks Alex. Well, Starfleet Academy drove the final nail. Kurtzman's legacy. Letting everyone know I'm online, trying to get T.O.'s ass moving to figure out what's happening. Hopefully he doesn't say a missile test and shows a SpaceX rocket again. Maybe he started smoking dope when we didn't know about it. I don't know. I'm looking up a bunch of info right now on this. So what ended up happening is that money speaks louder than anything else in Hollywood. Right? Hey, hope you're having a good time at the gym, everybody. I'm new to the pump it. Pump it good. Get the feeling of coming with the pump. I think that's the best Arnold impression I've done. So what ended up happening was this Dingleberry got into, I don't know, maybe he was blowing one of the Rottenberry's kids. I don't know. I don't know how this man, out of everybody they could have picked to possibly get in a series, that series that was a golden goose, that literally was able to print money at one point, right? Like you were making money hand over fist to the point that, you know, franchises were built around Star Trek that took off, right? Like, so somebody said, I want to make Star Trek, but in some other way. So Firefly came out or whatever else series came out. So Kurtzman, this dickhead, was the showrunner who did everything from Star Trek Discovery to Academy and everything in between. And the minute he was gone for Picard season 3, all of a sudden the series made money again. Really weird, right? So they had all these people who were woke twats who got in there and said, hey, we're going to make Star Trek woke and ready for the new era, right? These new kids out there, oh yeah, they're going to love this. They're going to love this. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so good. Don't you know we're going to bring woke society? We're going to bring woke society in here. And we're going to show these people all kinds of different things. And what we're going to do is that these older folk, you know, they're not even going to know what's going to happen. We're going to get all these young people in there, right? We're going to explore and do new things. So somebody thought this was a good idea. That's not AI. That's from the series. The series just thought it'd be a good idea that we're going to have a transporter accident and they become puppets. And I really wish this was not real. And people are saying like, you know, oh, well, people don't understand, you know, we're experiencing new things. We're trying new things, right? This is when I knew that they took, when they took the series and just thought it was a fucking joke and didn't care anymore. So Kurtzman came out, and again, I don't know why you get people into a series who know nothing about the series they are working on that has been around for 60 years now, right? 60 years anniversary of Star Trek. Older than I think most of us in here, right? 60 years. 60 years of a franchise that made money, pioneered sci-fi for not only television, but movies, and had multiple generations of people watching it, right? So series came out and they thought, let's hire the guy who totes, oh, well, I've never watched Star Trek, but I feel I'm going to be great at it. No, motherfucker, you should have never been in to begin with. Give me 1 second. I'm trying not to be gross on my mic. A little dehydrated right now. I don't know what that is. Burnt or Bart. But they got someone that comes in here and says, I've never done Star Trek. I know anything about Star Trek. So what does he do? The first thing he does is he fires the guy who literally knew more about Star Trek than Gene Roddenberry, right? And I'm totally blanking on his name right now. Let's see. Why am I blanking on his name? It's probably because I haven't drinking my coffee yet. What the hell was his name? I don't know that one. Is that what you guys are getting at? It was a Sesame Street thing. I haven't watched Sesame Street since I was a child. I can't say I remember. Oh, I can't remember. I'm blanking on this dude's name. I've said it probably a half a dozen times within this week talking about this. Anyways, this guy was in charge of the lore. He kept all the lore going, made sure everything was fine. Christian Bayer was another one that they fired. He was one of the lore directors. But that's not who it is. Oh man. Oh, why is this? It will come to me later, right when I'm thinking about other shit. Vato? No, he was a white dude. Someone out there has to know who the hell I'm talking about. Can't just be me. Can't just be me. No, it pisses me off with the fibromyalgia. I forget shit a lot. God, it gets really frustrating. How's it going, Kaltenberg? How are you doing? How's everyone doing? Anyways, they fired the guy. Didn't keep with any of the lore. And thought we're going to go all the way back to the Kirk era because for some odd reason, these prequels don't make money. No, it wasn't DC Fontana. It was, hey, what's going, Dirty Llama? By the way, my entire city is under a red flag warning right now that I live in. Just FYI. For anyone that cares about the fires. We also had like a plane crash near us that caught fire. And then, yeah, so we're not doing great and the smoke's kind of shitty today. But, Berman! That's who it is. Berman. Berman was the guy who was, I knew it'd come to me in a freaking if I just started thinking about something else. Burnman? Yeah, I think that was him. So they fired him. They fired everybody else. They said, we're going to go back. So the fire's still burning. It's only 55% contained near me. And instead of it, they were doing good to cut the fire lines. They jumped the fire line. And then another fire sparked up, which I think was only 1 acre that I think they got out quickly. But we are still under like fire danger. It's not over yet. We still have a ways to go. We have like 1,000 firefighters working their ass off every day. So, prayers and good thoughts towards the firefighters trying to keep us safe. And they're doing great work. It's a large area. And there's a lot of other fires around. Yeah, we're in the shelter in place right now. Rick Berman. Thank you, Colton. Rick Berman. So Rick Berman was the guy who kept Star Trek kind of going where it was and kind of kept shit straight. But they fired him. Yeah, we're in the shelter in place right now, where we're at. Yep. I wasn't bullshitting you, sir. I wasn't bullshitting you. Live long and prostitute. So, long story short, for I know there's people out there that want news. They don't care about Star Trek stuff. I care about Star Trek stuff because it's a big deal in my life. Well, so Enterprise was DePaul's boobs, and that was mainly the draw of the series. There is one really good episode of Enterprise I remember. And that is the episode right before the end where, for anyone that doesn't know, Enterprise did so shitty that they made it at the very end that the entire thing was a holodeck simulator that Riker was running. So none of it was canon. They threw it up. But one good episode that was in Enterprise was that it was with DePaul and Trip. They made a clone baby of him. And the baby actually ended up dying. But spoilers. It's only been, aired for 20 years. But the baby ended up dying. But it was a very good episode. And what's his name that played Terminator played the bad guy. And then that character was reprised again in Star Trek Into Darkness. But I don't think anyone caught that. It was a very niche thing. Well, you're going to like Strange New World? Yeah, you like puppets? Well, welcome. This is Strange New Worlds. This is not AI. This is the next episode you have to look forward to. Besides the singing Klingons and, other ridiculous shit. There you go. So DS9, once you get past the first season, you especially get into Dominion War, best series. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, you don't know about the singing Klingons? Oh, hold on. I'm singing. I'm also stalling to kind of wait for Tio to find shit. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Voyager had some good episodes and good ideas, but here, you get to see this in all its glory. Oh, that's loud.
Why have you? Why you only calling us when you got your dramas? One of these days we'll repay you, we'll slay you. Gonna draw your last breath at the end of my glance. Your eternal torture is every Klingon dream. You know what I mean? Break of a scream.
How's that make you feel? That's real. That was in the series. Apparently certain nebulas make you turn into an episode of Glee. I mean, we got Klingons in dresses that look like femboys.
Next, that would be you, Pouty.
Yeah, no, I don't need a...
Holy parasite. Where did you come in contact with the Aurelian lung maggots? And what are they doing in your lower bowel? Do you bathe in a bog? What? Ah! Sorry to say, I've healed you. Now, no more bogs. And keep a close eye on your bowel movements for the next 3 days. Call me if anything moves. Actually, don't. Next.
I think I swallowed my com badge.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Doctor from Voyager got to come back as himself, older, in Starfleet Academy. And that's what he has to deal with. Mind you, he has a very small part and pretty much gets shit on all the time by Holly Hunter, the entire series, that he was there. And I didn't watch the series. In fact, I could not stand to watch it, so I watched Neurotics recaps of it so I could save myself from putting my gun in my mouth. But Starfleet was supposed to be a place of the most intelligent people. right? Smartest people in the galaxy who joined Starfleet. And instead, though, you have a feminine Klingon who likes to watch birds and plant flowers. You have a woman here who apparently is stupid enough to put her comm badge in her mouth and swallow it. Mind you, the comm badge are kind of pointy. So I don't know how she's not suffering in pain if she thought she swallowed it. Mind you, she's also fat. And then the other guy who apparently tried to attack a hologram for some reason. And even though the doctor is at this point, over 1,000 years old, why, I don't know. Why, I don't know. Yeah, it was the DI Federation. Oh, man. And the crew... The crew, let me go see this. You know, it's funny, I type in Academy bridge scene, it's not the first thing that comes up, which means nobody's looking up any of this shit but me. Let me go put my head in the dumpster of YouTube and figure out where it is. Let's go see. And I noticed something else. I also went back and thought to myself, why is it that everything feels off with the new series? So for people that don't realize, between the original series Next Gen and the original series Next Gen and to Voyager, you always heard the rumbling of the engine in the background. Like a constant thing. Well, they removed that and everything kind of feels a little bit empty and doesn't like sit right in your brain. So here's some more for us before we Teal finds something we can move on with, which I'm still waiting on. Still waiting, Teal. Just waiting here, buddy. So someone thought, and I don't know why she's got a big jizz stain on the side of her, but somebody thought it'd be a good idea to be like, what if we took a species that has no genitals and then we merge it with a Klingon? And so you have a Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid, which is a woman, which is weird because again, there was supposed to be no sex to them and that they were all male, more or less. But the Jem'Hadar were weapons that were built by a species. So they didn't have any genitals and they were crack addicts, right? So instead of having that, though, they decided they're going to make one. I don't know why I got that shitty ass song. Holly Hunter looks like she's cracked out and should never have been there. Where is the fatties? The doctor, overweight. He's a hologram. Should not be. Jem'Hadar creature, overweight. They have this other, where is she? Potato person back there. Like, look at to the right. So that is another obese woman. So they had 3 women on the bridge that none of them could figure out. I don't think how the controls work. The bridge is humongous for some reason and 360 degree, which is also kind of weird with multiple view screens. Because that's not disorientating. Holly Hunter again should have never been in this part. I guess Noah Zempic in space, you know, in it's supposed to be 3,000 years after Voyager, or 1,000 years after Voyager, so 3,000, AD. You would think that they would just manipulate your genes so you wouldn't put on weight, right? But, we can't do that. Can't do that. Instead, you get potato people. Holly Hunter again looks lost. I don't think she's acting here. I think she literally is lost. Right? I think she was put in a place that she didn't know and might have had a stroke somewhere in between the filming of this. And so that's not her acting. She's literally lost. She doesn't know where she's at. She might think she's actually in space with this. Who knows? And then the USS Vagina, again, whoever designed the spaceship, space is a premium on the spaceship. Why do you have big open spaces? And then the it's got no nacelles on it because it leaves the nacelles in space to land. Mind you, San Francisco isn't covered in trash, so we know this is a false reality. So there was lore that was written. There's a lot of lore. Oh, by the way, it also docks here and it's actually the Starfleet Academy. So the spaceship is actually the school, right? So they travel with the school. This is the magic school bus, is what it is. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Buddy, you need to make sure you're not platforming sex offenders, buddy. Yeah, the nacelles stay up in space because, oh, and by the way, so this half white, half black species, they're all dead. This weird Orion should also not exist in there because they're not allowed in Starfleet, actually, but. So that's what Starfleet Academy has become. So mind you, now let's talk about real things. Let's talk about real things with the series and why it kind of shit out and why nobody's watching it anymore because it is crap. But it only got 400,000 people watching. Now, for people that don't understand when it comes to streaming, like, you know, yeah, I got 45 people or 100 sometimes, and Buddy has 50 or so. But you know, we're little tiny YouTube channels. We're not a big executive company that has millions of people working for me, right? When you cannot bring in 1 million people in a series, let alone an episode, there's something seriously wrong there, right? Seriously wrong. During that same day, other series came out with millions, hey Boris, millions of, people watching. Millions of them. And that was in the first hour of some of these series, right? I think The Accolades got like 11 million people watching the first episode, which I heard is not a great series either, but apparently people are watching it. But with Academy, you can't get 1 million people watching an episode, let alone a whole season. It shows it's crap, right? I did see that Dark Horseman, yeah. I did. NCIS Trek. I mean, you could have done literally anything else, but the entire idea. Paramount head of original James Wiseman gives the first indication that Alex Kurtzman is out of Star Trek. We're taking a lot of writers. We're leaning on CBS Studio, and it is imperative that we figure out what the next iteration is in the franchise because it is just too important. We're also in touch with Paramount Pictures. They have a Star Trek movie that's in development, which the same guy played Kirk's not going to be in anymore. Now, someone brought up they need to start looking at what like good writers. So for people that didn't know, because there's 20 years of no Star Trek, give or take, besides the movies, there was novels, and there was a lot of novels that were written. And not only were these novels written, right, but these novels that were written expanded, had people who actually worked on the show help write them. Garrick, the actor who played Garrick, voiced a couple of the audiobooks, right? And they expanded the series greatly. It took place after Star Trek Nemesis. Data comes back. Data comes back in a really interesting way. He doesn't really rejoin Starfleet, kind of goes off and does his own thing for a while, right? Worf becomes a captain, but then loses a captain and becomes first officer for Picard, which is already slated. Sisko gets his own ship. He gets a Galaxy-class retrofitted ship called the Robinson, and he goes off on adventures. Voyager goes off on adventures with Chakotay as captain, which is weird because he's technically not Starfleet, but whatever. The Aventine comes out, which is Ezri Dax has her own ship, and they're off doing stuff. And it really expands the whole universe. And so there was 20 years of writing that was out there that was phenomenal. And what ended up happening was at one point, Paramount came out and said, well, you need to end all this timeline because we don't like it. So and it pissed everyone off that wrote it, because at the end of that timeline, they say, oh, well, this is a different timeline, so we have to destroy it all. So they destroy all the books timeline, which is bullshit. So, it was really something that kind of really put the foot in the ass and make people feel like crap who were reading the books. Destroy it all. Yeah, so the books were great. Let's see, we might have a chase. That was 30 minutes ago. Let me go see what's going on with that. Tio is off flicking his bean, so I don't know where he's at. But let's go see it. Let's go check out LA News. No, don't do a beginning, because that's already effed. We know that's not going to work. What needs to happen is go after Voyager, do a series after Voyager, everything will be great. Stop rebooting shit. The reboots are not working. There's enough boots on people's feet. Just, Star Trek is one of my favorite series of all times.
2 weeks ahead of schedule on September 1st. The Clean Air Act puts
Well, that's not my freaking chase I was looking for.
The agency says the move will boost the fuel supply and lower prices for families.
Oh, well, there was a chase 3 hours ago. This is a chase from earlier while I look for stuff.
Just a moment. And this is one of
Here's what we'll do. We'll put this on.
going through the Ross parking lot. Got the Goodwill in the back there. A lot of open spots.
No, you
back
do it
there.
after
Hopefully,
Voyager.
you've got
Old
some
Janeway's
sun. I
fine
think
because she wants to reprise her
definitely
role
on
anyways.
it.
You can have her as an
Made his
admiral.
way back through this area right here, very
Tell her to
wide
throw her
open.
saggy tits up on the
Definitely
desk.
some big
People will
bumps
watch.
out here. And LAPD, look at this guy. Somebody
This is an
out of
old
the
chase,
box.
but while I'm looking for stuff.
So close. But if you know there's one, there's going to be others. And the
This is from 3 hours ago.
is there's a lot of folks on the other side coming up to where he's coming. This area right here, very heavily trafficked by pedestrians.
All right. I'll start talking about other stuff. No one cares about Star Trek but me.
And there we go, back onto Balboa. And he's probably going to make a right turn.
No,
Please
the
don't
war
make
was
a right
over.
turn.
When Voyager gets back,
He is
the
losing the tire.
Yep. Oh,
Definitely losing the
yeah.
tire.
Oh,
Tires
wow.
coming apart. Look at these people. Gosh, I don't.
the
want to
Dominion
see
War is already
somebody
over by
get
then.
hurt. Oh, my
By, like,
goodness. There's
2
so many
years, give or
people out
take.
here. And now you got
But while they were off
Oh,
playing with
wait, look at
themselves,
this
yeah, there was the
one here.
Dominion War.
Is this going to be it? Oh, why did you?
I agree.
People keep moving out of the
We
way.
don't want
like
them.
this
They
guy.
don't want to be in the way, Stu.
You don't want to be involved. They don't
know what's going on.
It's not
Yes.
their job.
You know what? If I can put my car in the way and just get out, I would definitely do it. Anyway,
Go watch Next Generation and then DS9 and then Voyager. That's all you need to watch.
Back on the wheel. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
So
Continuing on,
I know
Devonshire
some of the
right now
writers that
coming
work
up
at
on Rossford.
Paramount, and one of my
again,
buddies
a
got
lot of
fired because he was
traffic,
like, "This
a lot of
isn't Star
people obeying the
Trek."
traffic laws. Another motorcyclist. Hope this guy doesn't get hurt.
And then he got rehired for
And
Picard
coming up
season
to
2
another red light.
or
Here
3,
we go.
not 2.
Think about people
And it
getting
looks like
hurt,
they're talking
and
about going back into tracking mode.
earlier
And
when
I don't know what happened. Something happened right there. Okay,
Oh.
there you go. There you go.
the tire is still
Continuing back on to Devonshire.
there, but it's very, very loose. It's flat. It's a flat tire.
Well, also,
obviously.
we've seen pursuits go on when they're on the rim.
No,
Maybe
this is
Alex
from 3 hours
fine.
ago.
I mean, this is a good sign that maybe he'll slow down and lose momentum and lose
run
the
out of gas.
capability. But
I had to throw
we
something on
also
while I'm looking
see
for other
people who
stuff.
are very determined and
Because
they
I can't
keep
talk,
going despite
read
the fact
chat,
they're
and then
running
look at
out
the
of
other
rims.
screen all at once.
We'll see what happens here, but clearly the collision was
You know, I think
impactful,
Machinist
not
is
only to
avoiding
this
me.
driver of the black vehicle here, but to the passenger and the driver in the red SUV as we saw them collide a few moments ago.
Yeah, we're told that the ambulance was called in, and there was
There is a huge list for you to read, Ragul, about what to watch and what not to watch. I'll have to send it over.
What had happened, and also
Yeah,
to
but like
consider,
I
though,
don't
the way this
need
individual
to
has
hear
been
Trump say
driving
the same shit he
and
says every
just
other
how
rally.
reckless he is, and obviously under the
Unless
influence
it's
of
a
something.
news briefing, I don't really care.
Not many other cars have been hit or
Like
people
I guess I
have been
could throw
hurt
it
so
on
far,
so it's
there
just
is
filling the
that.
screen, but I know he's trying to rally other people for votes.
The fact that, we don't know about the driver of that red SUV. Hopefully they're going to be okay. It didn't seem like a high-speed collision, but the one positive is that, like you said, nobody has really been injured. I'm trying to track it the best I can. We're making our way back over to the 118 once again, getting closer to the 405. That rear tire really holding on. Don't know, who's what kind of tire it is, but it looked like it came off and then made its way back onto the rim.
There's the rally.
405 right now. That's a huge plus for us not getting onto the 405. But we'll see if we can see him as he makes it. But looks like he's getting on the northbound 405 from Devonshire. Is that what I just heard?
Okay.
Northbound 405 from Devonshire. So that means he's going to be up over here. Let me see if I can find him. Give me 1 second.
All right, as you find this guy, it's maybe not the smartest thing to do to go on a freeway trying to drive higher speeds on that flat rear tire, but clearly he is trying that because we see him right here.
Yeah.
So you got him going
I knew that
on
was
the
that long
on-ramp.
on-ramp.
But look at how the car now has that bounce.
Yeah, and you can see he's slowing down a little bit. I'm wondering if it's the car or if it's the driver. Remember, he did put a little gas in there. Maybe he was running out of gas earlier on. Hopefully that, that would be so good. Looks like we're going to be getting off the freeway back over, I would guess is going to be Rinaldi, but going pretty slow right there. This might be the opportunity law enforcement wanted for that pit maneuver. You're going to come out right over here. We're going to be very close to Mission Station once again. At least it's going to be a short drive to the police station if that's where they take them. But it looks like we're getting out and we're stopping and we're making a turn. That would have been the spot. That would have been the spot. But see, you got... There's the reason why I'm not an officer. Right there. Right there. They were keeping the public safe. And anyways, here we go. Looks like we're getting back onto the freeway.
At least going the right way.
And I'm sure the airship is keeping an eye on him. But it looks like we're going to be going southbound now on the 405.
You talk about the Mission Division definitely involved in this pursuit, as well as the Devonshire Division out of the valley, clearly engaged with this individual and the suspect, part of the patrol cars you see trailing him.
Well, look at that damage. We're getting a closer look there. That entire right-hand side.
Yeah, tire's completely gone. Tire's completely gone. He's on the rim.
Yeah.
That might be also part of it, too. That's going to really impair that vehicle, especially at high speeds, and then also being front-wheel drive. So you're going to see this kind of swerve around a little bit more. And now it looks like we're looking to get off the freeway once again. I'm not, who knows what this guy is thinking. But this might be another opportunity for that pit maneuver. We'll see when we get closer to that opportunity, as it would be the end of the off-ramp. That's where they would do it if they can. But again, LAPD doing an amazing job keeping people safe.
Yeah, this is the GTA 6 link.
Doing everything we can to keep everybody unsafe. Yeah, all over the lanes, and it looks like we're going to be getting a green light and back the other way. And I don't know, maybe he's going to try to get back onto the freeway. That's exactly what I thought. There we go.
Doing loop-de-loops
back onto the freeway. Southbound 405 seems to be his jive right there. That's his jam.
Well, when you're on the freeway like that, though, that's easier. Or you're setting yourself up to be trapped because there's only so many places you can go. You could run out of gas. Your car can fail you. So hopefully that happens while he's right there. And not in a residential area or on the freeway where more people, like unsuspected motorists, could be involved and in harm's way. But look at this, how wide open the lanes of traffic are right now on the 405 South.
I think people are pulling over probably or just slowing down. They don't want to be caught up in this.
Yeah.
Classic pursuit traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's classic pursuit traffic, but it also is law enforcement. They haven't quite done the round robin, but they are definitely separating folks from the actual pursuit vehicle. So they're going to have somebody probably trail behind and discourage folks from passing the law enforcement that are in pursuit of this vehicle. Let me bring up that speedometer again. I had it off because when we get on those long end of lanes, it gets crazy. Definitely not doing freeway speeds. Is this a spot to do the pit maneuver? I'm not going to say it, but yeah, I think it would be. You've got wide open lanes. You've got almost pursuit speeds, maybe a little too fast, but at any rate, it's not going to crash into anybody. We know that because there's nobody else on the roadway.
Right.
But right now, they're still staying back, giving this guy his space, and didn't take that off ramp, thank goodness.
Just like wearing him out.
And then maybe we won't have the problems with Van Nuys.
Wearing him out, wearing him down. That car's certainly wearing down.
405.
The car is going to fall apart.
Stu wishes he was able to fire a rocket from the helicopter.
But yeah, I still think the possibility of him running out of gas is realistic, due to the fact that it seemed like he's very much.
I know, Doc. I agree. But they gave his stupid ass a 10-year contract.
Freeway,
and see, this is where it gets really dangerous. Right here.
Oh,
and
no.
what's he doing?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, right into the police car.
And out of the car and running.
Okay. All right. Well.
Well, now he's running.
You know,
He run better if his pants are up.
With a deadly weapon on an officer, just kind of
Absolutely.
putting it out there and stopping,
And it's
deciding to
over.
stop. There you go.
Got punched him in the side of the head, too. You son of a bitch.
Bringing him down, doing the pummel technique. That's what I call it. They actually call it pile-on technique. But they're getting that suspect.
No,
into
that got
custody.
punched him.
I hope that one officer right there is okay. Definitely saw that airbag.
Like, watch this again.
Assault with a deadly weapon on an
I
officer.
think they think he has a gun on him too.
And stopping,
And it's
deciding to
over.
stop.
What?
There you go.
It's over.
CHP joining the battle right there, bringing him down, doing the pummel technique. That's what I call it. They actually call it pile-on technique. But they're getting that suspect into custody. I hope that one officer right there is okay. Definitely saw that airbag deployment, so hopefully that this officer is okay. I don't know if he was one of the ones that jumped out to join the chase. I haven't seen the door open, but maybe it was open and then closed. Again, these are all policies.
I'm not gonna lie, if I was that cop, I'd be like, "Oh my God, my back!
That law
Oh
enforcement deal with,
Jesus!"
but right now, that suspect
I'm taking the day off.
definitely in custody. I'd like to say nobody was injured. I'm hoping that officer is okay.
Well, us too. That
There we
was
go.
really scary to see, head-on collision like that after the pursuit suspect turns around on the freeway, going the opposite direction.
Thankfully, it was, the police cruiser was there, and it wasn't just some innocent
Right.
person. They were, regardless, at least aware and somewhat prepared for what this person was capable
Totally
of
unnecessary.
doing.
If
Well,
the guy
at
was
least it's
gonna
over.
give
It's
himself
over.
up, just pull over. Don't hurt anyone or property.
Yeah, but you're talking about someone who was under the influence of whatever it is he was smoking behind the wheel of that car.
Meth?
Like,
Was he smoking meth?
So his judgment isn't exactly.
Yeah, the 20-ounce
sharp.
ribeye. Donate me a 20-ounce
There you
ribeye.
have it. I hate to see it,
Truly,
though.
I'm telling you guys, truly the best case scenario is the fact that a lot of other people didn't get hurt in this whole process. There was that collision with that red SUV, and we did hear that an ambulance was called for the female driver, but it seemed like it was, at least from what we saw, nothing too serious. But the fact that this person was going the wrong way, just making all kinds of crazy.
I guess donating to the
decisions,
cost of a
driving
ribeye?
around,
I guess that would work.
speeding, not following any of the rules, willing to crash into a police cruiser. Things could have been worse. So there you have it. The aftermath.
There you
of the
have it,
Right.
folks.
Again, the pursuit lasting over an hour here as we were following it on air here at.
I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of these guys now have taken the drive in. Like, I'm telling you, there's some Skype or not Skype, Discord or some chat somewhere, right? I forgot the hell the other chat apps are, but. And I think these people are like, okay, man, how fast can you go when you steal it? You got to get your street cred, bro. You got to stop in at the gas station and get gas, too.
Fox 11.
Yeah,
We
maybe
witnessed
Signal.
This, him even topping off his.
Oh, there's
tank,
another one
trying to
too.
get some
I
gas
forgot how the
real
other one
quick
is.
during the middle of this whole pursuit.
But
looking
again, the
around.
second time this week we've had someone
Right.
in a pursuit situation go for gas. It's kind of crazy, right? Like
Motherfucking lazy bastard! You could at least put it back into the holster. Yeah, to drop it. It would have been quicker.
To clear the car, right?
Telegram.
Go to the
That's it. Thank you.
vehicle,
Probably some
see what
Telegram
else
chat out there.
is. And
And I'm showing you right there in the center of the screen. That's the California Highway Patrol officer. He crashed into a highway patrol vehicle. So I'm guessing that that is the officer from that crash because it's the only California Highway Patrol person that I see in the area. So that vehicle, definitely California Highway Patrol. And the door being closed doesn't mean that the driver did not.
I
get
don't
out. He
know.
probably got
They've
out
done
and
this
ran.
repeatedly. I think it's the same
Part of
goddamn gas
original
station
team
too.
that tackled that suspect. He's probably going to be checked out for injuries. It does kind of look like maybe it was the whole thing. I'm sure he's a little stiff from all of that. A lot of adrenaline, I'm sure. But
I think an
right now you can
ambulance
see
is
him
gonna
on
be
the phone,
called for
probably
him.
with his supervisors.
yeah.
Probably
Again, if I was a cop, I would just be like,
We gotta
"Oh,
do
my
some
back!
paperwork. We had a
Oh,
incident.
God!
Right now,
We did
Early retirement."
that traffic is slowly at
Full
least
pay.
moving in that one lane. People are going to be able to slowly make their way past all of
F
this.
you,
Obviously,
California
it's gonna take a while
taxpayer.
to clear the scene. This isn't going to clear up.
All right, that's the long and short of it. That's from earlier. I thought it was a good chase. We should watch. So Xavier Becerra's campaign for California governor has a shocking new platform. He's just going to come out and say he's a rapist. That's what I'm expecting. He's just going to fully come out and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a rapist." That's what we're going to see. Yeah. So they just swipe their card, is I think what they're doing. But I mean, they're only there for like a minute. They couldn't possibly get enough fuel. That's all I'm saying. Like, I think it's all just a weird game. Make sure you get your Z-Quil, everybody. Can't sleep because of stress because our country's theft. Get Z-Quil. Remember, all those bills out there, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Get your Z-Quil. Make sure you have your drugs. And get your fiber so you can shit right. A lot of you don't shit right. Make sure you poop all right. Come on, damn it. Get past the ads.
We have to look at his actual failures. His failures in office. He has a record.
He does have a record. He's also going to have a criminal record really soon. Becerra's knowledge for strategy of playing it safe by being silent is done on purpose during recent interviews with Cal Matters. The former Health and Human Services Secretary revealed a vote he regretted making more than 3 decades ago as the source of a strategy. Becerra was the first term as a congressman representing Los Angeles in 1993. He campaigned against the North American Free Trade Agreement, but was eventually persuaded to vote for it. Some labor protections and domestic lending programs would shield American workers, he was led to believe, because he's an idiot. Instead, Becerra said the American job was displaced anyway. No one gets my vote unless I know what I'm voting for completely, he told Cal Matters on that pivotal lesson he learned. Now the governor's race, Becerra said he's making sure he doesn't overpromise, even though he already has, right? I have anxiety issues, so my sleep's always messed up. Now in the governor's race, Becerra is making sure he doesn't overpromise. While he wants to speed up housing construction to address the state's housing crisis, Becerra has refused to state a number of how many houses plans to build during this tenure. There are houses all over the place that have no one in them. The housing crisis is bullshit. The problem is no one can afford a fucking thing. No one can afford a goddamn $1 million fucking house. Right? Then the fires came out, wiped all kinds of people's houses, and those people left. They didn't come back. They don't care about building a house. They fucked off. They went somewhere else. Why would they want to stay? Right? Why the hell would they want to stay whatsoever? They left. They got the hell out. They went somewhere else. They're in a different state somewhere. They're not going to want to rebuild, right? Because not only do you have to rebuild your house, which is going to be $600,000+, You also have to pay taxes on top of it, and you have to pay the fees on top of it, right? So all of a sudden you're paying out the ass. Yeah, $125,000 before construction even starts at the minimum, right? That's why so many people left and went to Oregon. And went to the rest of the city. Man, it is hard to breathe because of smoke today. That's why I'm a little, I sound a little asthmatic today and a little clamped. Well, so yeah, you have no rights. Everything's more expensive. Nobody wants to stay there. So, the housing crisis. The housing crisis is aimed at people who don't have any money, right? Have you actually seen some of the places that the government built for people? Some of these apartments? Let me go find this. Section 8. Should I find the ones in Hayward? So they built these Section 8 apartments. I think it's Hayward. And they are like huge construction projects. They have stores at the bottom of them. But to get into these, you need to be able to qualify properly, right? Yeah, a little of a climb to you. Yeah, there's plenty of open land to build, but the problem is that those people that need those homes who are low-income housing need them to be within the 5 minutes of whatever the hell they're going. So they need to be near BART. They need to be near some form of public transportation. They need to be able to get there quickly and get doctors and everything else. That's all well and good, I guess, right? In theory, except these people have no money, right? And there's no work because all the work's drying up. Everyone's leaving. Well, no, that's part of the problem. So those poor people can't afford a car. That's, so they need some form of public transportation. They need some form of being able to get to work. They can't afford a car usually, can't afford insurance. And if they do have a car, there's a lot of them without insurance driving. That's kind of the other issue. I don't live in Southern California or Northern California, but again, where do you want them to go? We don't want them to come up here to Oregon. They can say where the hell they're at. But the places he wants to build are not going to fix anything. It's stupid. It's putting a Band-Aid on the problem. What you need to do is you need to bring back manufacturers. No, don't send them where Trappers is. Send them to Oklahoma. Oh, send them to the Mojave. There you go. They can work on planting crops in the desert. The hottest place on earth. But a lot of those people, again, they are not in a great place financially. It's because California's too expensive, right? I can't afford to live in California. Well, they got to work. That's the problem. They aren't working.
California, when he was Attorney General, did absolutely nothing at the time when we saw massive fraud from our budgets. The Employment Development Department, billions and billions of dollars stolen. He did nothing about that when he's Attorney General.
Huge issue,
The crime wave exploding on his watch when he was Attorney General.
That's right,
State's Chief Law Enforcement Officer. What did he do? Spend his time suing President Trump and bragging about it.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too, is like Basaris, anyone that has been paying attention to politics in the United States who lives in California kind of knows Basaris is kind of full of shit. And everybody's just like, yeah, you're kind of a wasteful person. So if he wins, it doesn't surprise me, but it'd be nice if he didn't, right? It's going to be another Newsom incident. Newsom, on the other hand, keeps flip-flopping. He was going to run for president. But they want it. So the people on the left want a woman president, right? That's the big thing. Don't give a shit. They don't give a shit if they're good or not for the country. They just want it to look good. Oh, we got the first woman president. So progressive. We got the first trans. So progressive. We got the first, alien. So progressive. Illegal alien as president. So progressive. So that is what the left is really aiming for. So putting Newsom in there, probably not going to be a thing. Even though they've talked about it over and over, I think they're going to try to do Camel Toe or the hooker from New York.
And that's what he spent his time talking about on the campaign trail and in those debates as his record, that he sued President Trump while crime escalated out of control in California. Total failure in every job that he's done. He was asked recently on CNN what changes he would make, what policy changes he would make to the policies that have given us the highest poverty rate, highest unemployment rate, highest cost of living in the country. And he said that there's nothing that he would do differently. No policy change from Javier Becerra. That means the costs would go up and up and up. Gas prices higher under Javier. Taxes higher under Javier. Housing costs higher under Javier. All of the things that have made California the most expensive place to live in America would be much worse under this man. This man, Javier Becerra, just means more of the same: cost, incompetence, corruption, and failure. Becerra is more of the same, but worse. Thank you very much, everybody.
Which is true. Again, he's going to make it a whole lot worse. I don't think he's going to do anything great for California. When pressed by reporters to take certain positions, the candidate has given cautious answers that seem vague, such as saying there's a lot of room to expand, or AI regulations, or on AI regulations. Even when asked about the political event last week, what voters expect him to do as governor, Becerra did not mention one policy he wanted to commit to. Because he's a turd. He's a giant floating piece of crap. He said, I would not prefer not to run on inflated promises, he said. I will run on my record. Your record sucks, dumbass. The vagueness makes sense. Melissa Michelin, a political science professor at Menlo College, told Cal Matters because Becerra will likely win regardless in state, dominated by Democratic voters who are borderline retarded, against the GOP opponent. He doesn't have incentive to go out on a limb, he said. You don't want to mess up. You don't want to do anything crazy. And contact GOP candidate Stephen Hilton has laid out a list of bold policy planks. Most recently vows to cut the California Energy Commission over the controversial ban on non-environmental friendly tires, such as a promise of likely failure under Democratic-controlled state legislature. So, for anyone that doesn't know, California likes to bend itself over and fuck itself in the ass with a cactus as hard as it can. Because, its citizens being able to afford things is beyond the measure of their intelligence, right? It would make sense that, as a state, you want to keep your citizens happy. I don't know. Maybe, and then that's going on a limb here, maybe be able to have them have jobs, have them be able to pay for shit. I know. Fucking wild, right? Crazy. Crazy over here. Getting a little mad here and living in the state. Kind of remember how, shitty it was. Still trying to tell my parents, like, hey, you want to get the hell out of there? Especially if Prop 13 gets, 13? Yeah, I think it's 13. If Prop 13 gets recalled, millions of people will no longer have homes. They will not be able to afford the taxes. They'll have to sell and move out. So I'm a little bit mad here. Eric Swalwell, by the way, was accused of rep caught off guard by FBI as probe escalates in a lightning speed. For anyone that doesn't know, Eric Swalwell is probably going to be going to prison for rape. You heard me right, YouTube. I said rape, not making guns, rape, bombs, explosions. Fucking assholes. Eric Swalwell's accusers were left totally in the dark because the disgraced congressman was confronted by federal agents at the airport, according to the one alleged victim's attorneys. Eric Fudati, an attorney in the Swalwell accuser Lana Drews, said he was supposed to learn of the federal investigation, adding that the authorities had not contacted his client during an appearance on News Nation, Jesse Weber Live Thursday. Certainly interesting development. Fudati told the Jesse Weber, I was a bit caught off guard because Miss Drewers has not been contacted by the FBI or anyone from the federal law enforcement agency. The comment came after FBI agents confronted Swalwell in San Francisco International Airport, seized his cell phone and other electronic devices under a federal search warrant. Additional warrants were later carried out on Washington, D.C. residents resident, I cannot read right now, later carried out his Washington, D.C. residence that he lived, where agents seized other potential evidence. Fidelity said he would have expected Drews to be among the people federal investigators would want to speak with. Probe involves allegations of sexual misconduct. So I'm going to go out here on a limb and just say they haven't contacted him because the investigation is underway, right? So they're going to probe his phone. They're going to probe all of his social media and, everything else. It's going to take time. Once all that's compiled, they can go to her and be like, were you at this location here when he was doing X, Y, Z? And she'll be like, yes or no. And then they'll be like, okay, well, we got some questions to ask you about the sexual misconduct now that we have more evidence, and they want to build their case. So her going on the national news or whatever the hell thing this was and talking and whatever, no one gives a shit. It's just a waste of time. It has been odd because Ms. Drews has been perhaps the most public of Mr. Swalwell's accusers. Fidelity said she's at a press conference. There's a lot of people out there. She spoke and there's very serious allegations of rape and drugging. One would think the FBI was investigating Swalwell at least to the level they would get a warrant to seize his computer, his phone, stop him at the airport. They want to speak to the most vocal accusers, he continued. But so far, it has been radio silence from the federal law enforcement. Because she's so vocal, they might not talk to her till later, right? Because she might say stupid shit that's going to fuck up the case. But getting the other people first might be a better idea since they're not over there, blabbing to everybody on the goddamn world about what happened. Now, I know it's good that an accuser out there is telling people what happened, but there is now a huge court case underway. And you might want to keep a lot of that close to your chest because when it goes to court, if you can catch him in a lie and help show with what he did, right? That's great, right? One would think that the FBI would investigate Swalwell, would contact her. Drews has publicly accused Swalwell of drugging and sexually assaulting her in 2018. Swalwell has maintained his innocence. He resigned from Congress in April amid mounting allegations of sexual misconduct and the ethics investigation, which means he probably did it. That's why he dropped out. Fidelity said Drews has instead been communicating with local authorities, according to the attorney. So she's already talking to somebody. So she's already going out there. She's sitting down with a law enforcement officer. She's giving them stuff. The FBI is probably in contact with them. The FBI is probably like, hey, just tell us what she says. Okay, great. Done, right? We'll investigate her if we need to. It's not a movie, right? Stuff doesn't move like in the movies. They're like, listen, come to the office so we can have a talk with you. No, it's very pomp and circumstance. There's a lot of different moving parts. People are going to come out. They're going to say, hey, what did she tell you, officer? And he's going to be like, well, here's my sworn affidavit from her, but we investigated her. Great. Now an FBI officer doesn't need to go out there. The stuff's already out. They're able to get all the information and they move on, right? Now, that's not saying they're ignoring her. There's, as it says right here, she's already talking with authorities. So what is this other agent going to ask her that the other authorities have not, right? Fidelity says Drews has been instead communicating with local authorities. According to the attorney, she has made a report to the Los Angeles Community Sheriff's Office. Provide evidence and named potentially witness as part of the investigation. He acknowledged information could potentially be shared between local federal investigation. Yeah, no shit. Of course it's going to be shared. I feel like there's people out there that don't understand that the police department and the FBI talk to each other, right? And then ICE talks to them too. And then like the National Guard would talk to them, or like all these other branches actually come out and speak to each other. Like, I feel this is some phenomenal thing that people don't understand, right? Like it's almost like they work together. I know, strange, weird, strange. I was surprised as anyone else this morning when I heard about the news, Fidelity said, adding that he was unclear, I thought it was a she, why the federal investigation had escalated at the particular time or what specific allegations were pursuing. Inconceivable! Fidelity also said that Drews had mixed emotions about the FBI's actions, while she was encouraged to see what federal, now it's a she again, escalation law enforcement activity. He said she was confused. Whoever wrote this article flip-flops a bunch. I wonder if it was written by like some intern typed it. Because it's the New York Post. Intern typed it, fed it through AI, and the AI F'd it, or if the person's just stupid. They need to go back and reread their stuff and make it flow better. The attorney said Drew has to take significant personal risk by publicly identifying herself, describing her allegations against a prominent political figure. She's absolutely prepared to testify under oath, Fadali said, whether in her own case or as a witness to other proceedings. Fadali said his firm was provided the believes in coordination with evidence of law enforcement, but declined to detail the evidence publicly, because that would F up the case. He also said Druis is not currently pursuing civil lawsuits against Swalwell, saying that her immediate focus is on the criminal investigation seeking accountability, which is probably good because if it was about money, then that might taint the case too. But if it's about actually getting justice, that helps with the case, right? Makes sense? As for what comes next, Fadali suggested the seizure of Swalwell's devices could mark the beginning of a more active phase of the federal investigation. Yeah, that's pretty apparent. One that comes next, Fadali suggests the seizure of Swalwell's devices can mark the beginning of an active phase of federal investigation. It's also hard to tell, but I would expect a pretty robust escalation this thing to start moving very quickly. So Swalwell is probably not just getting investigated for the rape and drugging of women, but I'm going to guess that he leaked government secrets and that the FBI might have stepped in and being like, hey, this dude did a lot more shit than we thought. And, you know, the rape stuff is literally nothing compared to what else he did. So I'm expecting a whole lot of that to come out soon, too. I know. Good times, everybody. Good times. Good times. I'm still looking for stuff. I have no idea where the hell Tio's at. Tio, where are you? Where are you? It's Friday night. We're looking for chases tonight. See the helicopters over there flying around in number one. We're hoping to find something going on. Something going on. Yeah, so now, and there's also some other stuff too. I got to like weed through a lot of this news when it comes to Iran. Because the stuff in Iran is getting kind of muddied. I guess like even like, so I also guess Ukraine is now the place to be if you want to, you know, go shoot people. Like if you're from another government and you're like, hey, I have some military training. Can I go shoot people? They'll take you. Apparently, a group of Japanese people have now went into Ukraine to go and shoot Russians. Apparently, Russia also apparently has a group of people that are marching through the street. Talking about nuking America. So Russia's being kind of weird. Iran stuff's being kind of weird. Stuff seems like it's bubbling up and being a little bit more hostile. We've been bombing the living shit out of Iran. That's nothing new. Nothing new. So I would love to add more stuff to Iran. There's just not much going on there. That's, you know, we turned around like 40-something ships. Oh, God, I hate ads. There you go. You guys don't have to look at that way. I get this. Roa alumni Kim Zukask's 15-year-old son, KG Burmam, arrested for aggravated sexual assault and sodomy over battery. Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't really care about, you know, I don't watch that shit, but apparently other people might. Apparently her 15-year-old son, has been arrested for aggravated sodomy, a forceful sex act involving mouth or anus, and aggravated sexual battery. I mean, her kid looks like a dopey little bastard, so it really surprised me. There you go. There's your background image. He was taken into custody Monday and he was being held without bond. A hearing is scheduled for December the 1st. According to the papers filed in Fulton County Juvenile Court and obtained by Page 6 Friday, a female classmate accused KG of assaulting her in a Lifetime Fitness Center in Alpharetta, Georgia on April 23rd. The girl claimed the officials that while in co-ed sauna, why would you in a co-ed sauna with a... Like, isn't he 15? And she's a classmate, so she's like 15? Why the fuck are both of you in a goddamn co-ed sauna? What's wrong with you? Fucking weird. Who let this thought was a good idea? You know what I'm saying? Like, the girl claimed to officials that while in the co-ed sauna, KG allegedly forced himself on her despite her saying no. The boy allegedly attempted multiple times to have sexual intercourse with her by trying to pull down her pants. It was a sauna. I have pants on in the sauna. I'm so confused. Right? I'm not misreading this, right? Like, because a sauna is either a hot room, right? Or it's the, you know, the hot tub in there, right? That's the whole sauna room. It's a steam room. Additionally, she accused KJ of forcing oral sex and digitally penetrating her vagina per the court doc. Digitally? What? Digitally penetrate? What the fuck does that mean? Allegedly, when she finally managed to get away from him, he pulled up his pants and left. Per the court doc, KG did not scan into the gym on the day of the question, but he was visible in security camera footage. The girl claims she did not tell anyone about the alleged assault. The docs also state before going to school the next day where she ran into KG's girlfriend. The alleged victim, who was 15 at the time of the alleged assault, described herself as KJ's girlfriend's best friend. Subsequently left for school Starbucks, the court doc state, and contacted her family, experienced a panic attack. She's only examined in the North Fulton Hospital in Georgia. April 24th examination per the police report showed no evidence of male DNA in her mouth or vagina. Police have launched an investigation that made first attempt to contact KG's father on May 14th. Spoke to Berman, 40. 4 days later, the retired NFL player said that he would have a conversation with the son, whether the cops could speak, and have the conversation so the cops could speak with their son. KG's lawyer, Jason Sheffield, claimed a statement. Oh, he's not a Jew. They're going to lose. Claimed that statement on Page 6 Friday that his client is 100% innocent and that he tried to present evidence to the arresting officer, including past polygraph, which is not really, depends on the state, but it's not always admissible in court, and respected sex offender polygrapher. But again, that's all, that don't really mean anything. She claimed he has no evidence of the prior false allegations by alleged victim. Additionally, the officer report notes the investigation found no male DNA on or inside the areas that alleged victim claimed was assaulted. That doesn't mean anything, especially the next day. The fact that he has been arrested and is being held without bail is a tragedy, Sheffield continued. He is not presumed innocent, but is in fact innocent. Although everyone's presumed innocent until found guilty. I'm asking the public not to pressure or the truth of these allegations, give the family both sides of space privacy. The allegations made against my son and nothing short of reckless and deeply troubling. He categorized, denies every being involved in the woman or engaged in conduct she was alleged. My son voluntarily took polygraph examination regarding these allegations and passed. Again, doesn't mean anything. So, yeah, there you go. Apparently, Desperate Housewives, or whatever the hell she was on, son might be getting a little bit of trouble. Might get in a little bit of trouble. So, again, kind of a weird, slow news day today. Apparently, Reed Timmer was hanging out with Max Velocity. People have kind of gone after Reed Timmer lately. So Reed Timmer went off and he made a movie called Never Stop Chasing. And people think he kind of sold out. People kind of claim that he's kind of lost what he used to do, and he's not really like trying to do storm chase anymore. Why did I take that down? He's not really trying to do storm chase anymore. He's just kind of like being a celebrity and a celebrity storm chaser, and a lot of people just kind of not digging it. Max Velocity, on the other hand, used to, I guess, go out and chase storms, and again, he sits at home now and doesn't do stuff, which is fine by me, honestly. Fine by me. I believe that a lot of the storm chasers are putting themselves and other people at risk. Should not be out there. So I understand if you're a scientist, but there's also people who are scientists that go out and do this that have funding and do it a lot safer. You're doing it because you have a YouTube channel, right? You're doing it because you have a YouTube channel and you're trying to make your dollary dues, and I get that, and that's absolutely A-okay. But if you want to be at home and do it, and you're doing a good show, that's awesome. It's great. Make sure people know what's going on. Perfect. Awesome. If you're out there and you're not really a scientist and you're just some guy with a thumb up his ass trying to get himself killed and other people killed because you're too stupid to realize what you're doing, keep your ass at home. If you really want to be involved, go join one of the many, and I mean goddamn many different groups out there that study storms, that have full funding and airplanes and vehicles and everything else that do that around the clock, right? Don't do it for the clicks. Because while you're out there and you're being like, hey guys, I'm Dickhead McGee, and I got a, and he's over there driving, and then he gets a piece of straw shoved through his face. Then some poor EMS worker has to come out there and, pull his stupid ass out of a car that's been thrown, 15 feet and rolled around for a bit. Yeah, not really a... So, yeah, exactly, Bio. I'm reporting in live. Blood shoots out of his neck. Freaking sign whipped through and cut his head off. Straw lobotomy, interesting idea. Not sure if you're aware the Max is officially licensed meteorologist. You could be officially licensed. You could have all this other shit. If you are not with a group of people doing it, and you're out there just playing with your dick and going out there, and especially if you're making money off of YouTube, kind of says a lot. Reed is also a meteorologist. It doesn't mean he's smart. That guy does a lot of dumb shit, especially when he starts bringing other people with him to go do dumb shit with and putting those people in danger. Because if you look at this from the perspective of somebody who is in the EMS field, right? What they're doing is not only reckless, but also doesn't just put them in danger, puts other people in danger, and takes EMS away from everybody else. Even though they come out there and claim, right? They come out there and claim, oh, well, we told them not to rescue us. That's not how EMS works. No firefighter or EMT or police, well, it depends on the cop, but no are going to come out there and be like, well, he said not to rescue him while he's bleeding out there with the arm removed. You know what I mean? No, I know they are. I'm saying they are licensed, but they need, again, my point is that if they were with an official group, they would be making more money and have more and be too busy to make YouTube stuff, is what I'm saying. It's the same thing that happens with the people that go out there for predator catching. Do you know how many different groups are out there that do predator catching every day? You just don't hear about them or see them? Hundreds. Hundreds. The thing is, again, if you're out there driving around, again, Max sits at home now. I don't think Max goes out and does anything. I think he just does stuff from the house now, which is fine, which is great. But the minute you go out there, regardless, it's not just you going out there. It's you going out there and then putting other people's lives in danger. It doesn't matter if you're licensed. It doesn't matter if you're a scientist or what. You still put other people's lives in danger, or EMS workers. Right, because I think Max just sits at, does stuff at home, which is fine. If he wants to sit at home and do it, that's great. If he wants to tell people what's going on, that's wonderful. But again, the minute you go out there driving around on these streets in a storm, you're putting yourself and other people at risk. That's the cold, hard truth. Like, even the news that does it is stupid, right? When the news goes out there and they go in these terrible places, except the news, on the other hand, right? The news, on the other hand, gets told where to go. And they get told where to go based on evidence about where they're safe to be at. And I know people get upset because they watch all these other shows and, oh my God, these are great, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is that most people on YouTube, if they have more time to do stuff on YouTube and on there all the time, that takes up a majority of their time. That is a job, right? Even though people don't think about it, it takes up a lot of time. Yeah, it's like rubbernecking a crime scene. And I never worked on a rig, but I did go to school to be an EMT, right? And I got my certs and stuff. But the way I look at it is that is from not an area of entertainment, but from an area of like, this is real shit that people can get hurt in. And I know people get upset too when I bring up stuff like the people that go out there and get sex offenders, or try to, right? Hundreds of groups out there every day. No one knows who they are. They don't make YouTube channels, but they're out there making sure kids are safe. How would I know about being a YouTuber? Fuck me, right? Jesus Christ. It's not like I know what goes into the back end. But, you know, there's stuff that goes into it. And, you know, again, it's a full-time job. So that's all I'm saying. Like, if you only have so much time to do shit. And some of these people have like giant crews and stuff like that. But if you look at it and go, well, I watch this guy because he's not the regular media. What separates this guy who has an entire crew working for him against the actual media? They both have sponsors, both have money coming in, both motivated by money. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think him reporting the news is bad and weather. I think it's great. Big pharma ads. I don't know. Some of them YouTubers. No, I don't think Max is a fake grifter at all. I think Max does a good job, right? I think a lot of them do a good job. But I also believe that, like, to me, I believe that the difference is that, and again, I think Reed is trying to, because I think Max is doing better than Reed, is what I'm getting at. And I think Reed is trying to, like, I think Reed went from being just some guy that would do storm chasing, because Reed used to be pretty down to earth. And then he all of a sudden got a little too big for his britches. And now he kind of acts like an asshole. So. Rather, I believe that. And the thing is too, like with, and I know this pisses people off when I bring it up because people want to believe that these YouTubers are like, oh my God, they're heroes. No, they fuck up cases. Fucking waste of time. Right. Reed kind of, between Reed driving around, which is fun, right? I like watching when Reed was driving around and, you know, it was just him and he was doing his thing. Then I guess he has his brother or cousin or the lover or whoever it is now operating the computer at home who likes to cut away and be like, okay, everybody, there's Reed out there. Reed's going to do some stuff. It's like, no one gives a shit, fucker. Go back to the stream. No one wants to see your stupid ass. It's called Reed Timmer, not Reed Timmer and Friends. Like, you know, and some other engineer came out too with Reed and was like, yeah, that Dominator thing, fucking stupid. Like, the guy keeps straight. He's like, he was a vehicle engineer. And so he's like, I sat down for like a week and like analyzed what you would need to be safe in these storms and what he had isn't. And that the thing kept having problems, like hydraulics would break. The outriggers dug into the ground. I guess the outriggers got stuck one time and drug through the goddamn ground and made it harder for EMS to come in because now there's all this busted up fucking concrete everywhere. And I guess he did it in such a way where not only did he go deep enough to hit something in the road where water was coming out, but like parts of the road were like drifting apart. It's like, good job, Reed. Good job. So again, when you watch stuff on YouTube, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of these people do it for money. And it's funny when people come in here and call me the grifter. And funny because people come out there and be like, well, you asked for money, blah, blah, blah. And then like these other people are like, I'm dropping thousands of dollars on them every day. We're like, the fuck's the difference? Right? Like, I don't know. I get jaded because I've been doing this and I've been in the entertainment industry for 20 years and I can kind of smell the bullshit that comes over. And part of me kind of looks at it and be like, that's full of shit. That's just doing it for money, blah, 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 right? And all right, like right now there ain't shit going on. I still come on live and do stuff. I still trying to give entertainment to people, but the problem is that I watch people like come on there and let's say they're predator catchers, right? They go out there and like they had this black guy that would come out there and he's like, yeah, man, I'll come out and I'll beat the shit out of them. I'll beat the shit out of them. Well, so he did it one time and I think the guy's now in prison, but he beat the shit out of some kid who came to see some other kid. So he beat the hell out of a minor. It was hitting on the minor because they were the same age. And then he did it to somebody else and the cops arrested him and said, yeah, you're assaulting him. Oh, but he's this predator, blah, blah, blah. The cop's like, I don't give a shit. Like, you can't come out and just assault somebody, right? Because you think he did something wrong. That's called vigilante justice. It doesn't work. It's illegal in our society. What ended up happening is one of the guys was a huge sexual predator. I mean, like, they had a case as long as my arm on him. And it fucked up the case. And now some sexual predator is out there still roaming the streets because this guy wanted to make a YouTube show and make money off of it. You know, it's the same problem people have with Chris Hansen, right? Because Chris Hansen also fucked up cases. And now Chris Hansen's calling out people who did exactly what he did and they're both fucking up shit. Because at the end of the day, they make entertainment. They're not vigilantes. They make entertainment. There's groups all over the place that work with helping find sexual predators and get them, right? They build up cases on them. People don't know who they are. People don't know the names of them. And that's due to, I mean, you can go look them up. They exist. But the reason being is because they're not in the public eye, because it's not about making money in entertainment. They're doing that because they're there to help. They probably years of undercover investigation to them. But there's these groups that go out there every day and people are like, well, I don't see it happening. You know, I'm Joe Blow at home playing with my dick and I don't see that happening because I'm not getting bombarded that it's on TV. Well, of course not, because they're doing their job. They're not making a TV show. They're working on helping save kids, right? There's groups that go out there also who go and rescue children from third world countries where they've been abducted. There's groups that scour the internet every day for stuff to find out what's going on with children. And that's why, like, people bring about Alex Rose and people come in there and be like, he's a hero. No, he's not. He's some fuckhead on TV. YouTube, but same difference, right? So, you know, if you really want to help out and you want to go figure out some of these groups that help out kids, go look them up, find out who they are, and some of them take donations. That's who you should be donating. Not some guy out there on YouTube, right? You can donate to me, though. I give you entertainment. That's my claim to fame. But I'm not also out here claiming some shit I never did. So, anyways, that's it in my rant. Stuff kind of irritates me because, again, I think there's a lot of people out there that think just because they saw it on YouTube that it's real. It's not, right? And it's even like some of the stuff I watch, I always question, like, is this real, right? Even like I watch scam bait videos, and part of me feels that even some of those are probably fake. But there's all kinds of stuff out there you can go do. And if you want to get involved to protecting children, right, there's all kinds of groups you can join. They're always looking for people. It's boring. You sit there and you come through data. But it's out there. But my point I'm making is it's just, there is a lot more going on than what you see. And so even with the weather chasers, there is groups who go into airplanes, they get right above those storms, and they have what looks like a cannon, and they drop sensors through it. It's really cool. Let's see. Let me find one of them really quickly, because they're pretty freaking cool. I think the National Guard does them. I mean, at least it'll be entertaining, Alex. Hey, I appreciate that. Well, and that's what I tried to do, is I tried to give, like, there's other people out there that do what I do and they put stuff on the screen. The thing I try to be different is, I'm a real person that tries to give real input and talk about what's really going on, right? And I get my moods and stuff and whatever. I'm a human being, right? Like I get moody. I have medical issues I deal with. Sometimes I'm fucking pissy. It is what it is, because I'm a human being. I'm here every day. But like, I try to at least be a host, right? And give entertainment. And that's kind of the thing I always tell people, like, I'm here to entertain you and show you what's going on in the world. And that's my shtick, right? Like, I don't know what else to pull off. And I get some nutballs in here, right? Storm Chaser aircraft? Maybe that's what it is. And good thing I have ADD, because it keeps me able to pull shit up randomly. And, oh yeah, the Hurricane Hunter. Check this out. Like, you want to get into doing some storm stuff, right?
The job of a hurricane hunter is not for the faint of heart. This brave crew must fly straight into one of the most destructive forces in nature. Hurricanes are born over the open ocean, and while satellites can track their movement, meteorologists and researchers need to sample the storms directly to get the most accurate information about them.
I'm going to reverse this a little bit, just because I want to show something.
Can track their movement,
You see this? This is in the back of the airplane, right? Now, as I mentioned before, if I was to go storm hunting, I would have something like this set up. Now, again, not as big because it's an aircraft, but, you know, you have somebody back there with monitors and stuff and doing a job in back of a big truck. And then you would have the pilot, you know, the guy driving up front. Oh yeah, you haven't seen this, Llama? This stuff is awesome. Like, badass. And so some of these, again, they have what looks like a cannon in back, and they drop these like PVC sensors out of the back of them.
Meteorologists and researchers need to sample the storms directly to get the most accurate information about them. NOAA's Hurricane Hunter fleet includes 2 P-3 turboprop aircraft, as well as a Gulfstream IV jet. The P-3s fly through the storm, encountering devastating winds that can be over 150 miles per hour.
Well, the best way I could describe it is it's sort of like riding a roller coaster through a car wash, because you can't see anything out the windows in the eye wall. It's just like a car wash. It actually, even in the middle of the day, gets dark inside the airplane. It's raining so hard.
The jet can fly higher than the turboprops, gathering data from higher in the atmosphere. Both planes have high-tech equipment on board to get the job done, like radar and fixed probes that measure particles in the air. Scientists also deploy drop sondes, which parachute
There it
out of
is.
the hurricane to the ocean surface, sending back data on pressure, temperature, humidity, and wind. These measurements can help us understand the structure of a storm and the winds that are steering it.
Would collect on the aircraft,
data
take
is
them down.
used
Holy
in
shit.
computer models that help forecasters predict how intense the hurricane will be and where and when it will strike land.
We will fly twice a day. This airplane will just go day, night, day, night, day, night for 6 days in a row. And the missions last anywhere between 8 and 9 hours.
Hurricane hunters take a literal look into the eye of a monster formed by nature. Their courage helps further science and
Jesus.
save
Good
lives.
weightless in there because it's bumping around so much. So those are the hurricane hunters. And so there's multiple people out there that do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, for everyone you watch on YouTube, there's someone who does it better and doesn't talk about it, I believe. Right? Because again, most of YouTube's entertainment. But, if you haven't seen some of this, it's pretty phenomenal. Air Force Reserve fly through the eye of a hurricane. This is on the Ultimate Military Channel. We'll go look that up. See, I always find entertainment for us. Something to talk about. Blame it on my ADD. Teal's got an STD. So some of this equipment, it looks kind of gnarly, and you're like, oh my God, there's all these buttons and switches. So we used to make some of these panels at the machine shop. They would throw them in the CNC and pop them out. People would ask for what they want. But these panels are not hard to make. And getting the equipment for them is expensive, but not impossible. And some of that stuff, even on the bottom, is just, switchboards and, stuff to turn the radars on and off and whatever else. But again, if it was me, and I had the money, and I was driving out into a hurricane, I would have, again, a big truck with sensors and stuff. And it would probably be boring to watch because we would get somewhere, we would park, we'd get all the equipment out, and we would get ready to intercept it. And I'd probably have 2 or 3 trucks in strategic positions. And then we would wait for the hurricane to come by, and we'd collect all this data, right? Instead of like driving into it, we would get, advanced knowledge of it, use our radar and figure out where we can go. Dogs, Lou. Dogs. We are over the front over here. We are, everyone over here, just be prepared. We're probably going to get a little turbulence. I like the heads-up displays on there, too. That's cool. Yeah, that's what Alex is saying, too. He's on around doing his job, Sev. He gets the ridicule. Look how dark it is in there because of the storm. And those guys, the only thing they can really see is through the heads-up display, right? And talk about turbulence. You know, I think I'd feel safer with these guys, to be honest. Because they're used to doing it. But I hate flying, so, you know.
Darlene has just tipped $10. Who is next? $10 train.
So that's the case on that. Thank you very much for $10. That's the case on they're going to drop out of the aircraft. And then there's a thing on the side that asks if people find them to return them. Because it's full of sensor data. Oh man, could you imagine being in that right now? No. Blech. I wonder how many people vomit on it. I mean, it's really cool to see, but yeah, I don't want to be on this. That is pretty dark. You're a braver man than I, Hellbent. No, thank you. It's all you, bruh. So there you go. That is what they do with the storm chasing. Give you guys a better idea about like some of the stuff that happens out there that no one really knows about. So like flying into the eye of a hurricane, because you know, why not? That seems like a good idea. Seems like Seems like a thing to do. Trump's looking a little moist. Needs some he needs a little spritz. Look a little dehydrated up there. Gavin Newsom hails Trump's accounts as best thing the press has ever done in rare love fest. Apparently, it's really weird. Gavin Newsom has been complimenting Trump randomly. It's kind of freaky. Yeah, if you're gonna go with a smile, and yeah, exactly. But you know, the bad thing is that when the plane's going down, and you're yelling because you're about to die. Those last few minutes would suck. Apparently, new satellite imagery shows the damage of the Saudi Arabia's Jazan oil refinery after August 18 Houthis drone strike, with a large oil storage tank appearing burned. So yeah, gas probably going to go up, not from the war though, but people blowing up stuff with the Saudis. Or Saudis getting stuff blown up, not helping us. Apparently, the ATF has come out with a statement saying that after their recent loss, they're expecting the rates of crime to go up significantly because that these laws are no longer in place. For people that don't know, the you can have short-barreled rifles now. You can have short-barreled shotguns. You have all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit's now legal. You can go get a suppressor with doing a 4437 or where the hell the thing is. I think that's a tax form I just said, but whatever it is. And so the ATF is coming up being like, well, crime's going to go up now. Crime's not going to go up whatsoever. It's going to be exactly the same. In fact, it might even go down, which would be nice because people aren't getting stopped for stupid-ass crimes. When you're in the Army, I got my jump wings and my air assault wings. Oh, goddamn. Why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane? That's pretty cool, though. That stuff's awesome to do. I'm not into that. When I was going to actually join the Army, I was going in as a helicopter pilot. That was my goal. And, you know, if you're in a helicopter, you got to eject, you just go into the rotors. So I think there is actually a Russian helicopter though that has an ejection seat. It blows the rotor off. I found out here on the show. Blows off the rotor and then it ejects you, which is pretty neat. I don't know. Well, it's going to work in combat if you get hit and blows off the rotor while you're trying to fly. That can't be very good. Yippee! Ooh. Okay. What other top headlines do we got? What other top headlines do we got going on? What do we have today? What do we have? My new mic's all set up. I recorded some stuff, sent it out. Hopefully I get that gig, which would be awesome. Since up for a few days. Since I'm still a little bit under the weather, hopefully it was okay, right? Kind of the thing with entertaining is like, you know, other jobs, if you're a little bit under the weather, you can go to work and let's say you're working in like an office, sit on your ass, drink your tea. I would say probably some of the hardest jobs to do while sick is entertainment and construction work. Anything you're outside. Because if you're outside or like military stuff, right? And you feel like shit, everything is just 10 times harder. Like, has anyone here ever been like super sick? Rucking? That's the best way I could possibly put it up. I did it camping, and I got the flu a lot camping. And I remember having all my gear on me. I just felt like shit. Not the entire time. It was me and my best friend. We ended up going out into the woods. We were like 20. And what's up, man? And we were rucking it, and I got the flu. He got the flu too. And so like we ended up setting up one tent instead of two, because we usually go out two because we don't want to be, you know, Yeah, we're good friends, but I don't want to be rubbing them in the middle of the night. And but this time we were both like having fevers. We're like, fuck it, got one tent, and like you know, by the next day, luckily we were feeling better. But luckily there's two of us. We had to we just took turns doing different things. One of us dug a shit pit. The other one got the fire started. I think I ended up making which helped a lot, was I ended up making pine needle tea while I was out there. That seemed to help. So with the stomach bug. When I was an OTR truck driver, it was hell if you got sick on a run because you have to drive to get a load delivered. Yeah. Well, have you seen Hellbent, those families that are now they're driving in tandem? So they'll have one will sleep while the other one drives and vice versa. And they got some big ass sleeper cabs on there. So I don't know how that works with the ODOT stuff, but I guess they pull over and, one of them gets all cleaned up. And I didn't know either that some of those trucks, some of those sleeper cabs, some of the newer ones, they have bathrooms in them. They have their own bathroom. They have their own little kitchen. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. But it makes sense for long haul trucking. But I would imagine, you're sick, you got the flu, you feel like crap, you're trying to keep this rig on the road, you got to pull over once in a while to go, vomit or, take a huge dump, and then, you're back going again. That's not very good. The team would have been nice, but I feel like a team would be better if you'd get somewhere and you swap off to somebody, drive 8 hours, swap to a new driver, swap to a new rig attached. I don't know how that works. Backlash. California Senator demands resignation to Energy Board over controversial tire law. Backlash is now governing California's controversial tire rules aimed at lowering emissions, and now a state senator is joining the call for bureaucrats beyond the rules to lose their job. The tire regulation approved on Monday by the California Energy Commission, who, by the way, the Energy Commission is just fucking everybody in California, will phase out replacement tires to fail to meet state's new energy efficient standards, eventually wiping out 70% of the market and jacking up costs for drivers and critics. I've said, if these commissioners had to face the voters this November, they would be removed. And they should be removed. Strickland said that the rules illustrate a fundamental problem in California: too much authority of the hands of the unelected official bureaucrats who earn between $166,000 and $215,000 while meeting only once a month in the case of Energy Commissioner. Man, I should have ran for Energy Commissioner. I'll take that money. All I got to do is meet once a month. What a hell of a job. You meet 12 times a year and you get paid $200,000. God damn. Strickland sent a letter Thursday to Energy Commission calling on all 5 board members to resign. You have resources in terms of election, or you have a recourse in terms of an election. You don't have that with these unaccountable boards and agencies. Beginning in 2029, the ban targets high resistance tires and take more energy to keep moving down the road. Bigger tires, usually all-terrain, stuff like that. The commission said believes tire regulations will save fuel costs for consumers, but critics on the ban say it'll wipe out lower-cost tire options, raising prices on industry scrambles to replace the majority of replacement tires currently on the market. Average tire prices cost around $81, as much as $157. Again, I buy, expensive tires. My tires cost 200 and something bucks for my F-150. I looked at new ones and I looked at new rims because I want to get my center axle higher up off the ground. So if I have to go anywhere off-road, I'm not going to be hitting my differential. Nice, Hellbent. She's like, what time are you off? Oh, that's right. I know. At times when families are struggling to make ends meet, the CEC approves a new mandate that will force struggling families to purchase more expensive replacement tires. The energy commissions are appointed by the government and governor and approved by the state senate. They serve staggered 5-year terms. Again, I don't know who writes for the New York Post, but I am not easy able to read off their shit. Like other people I can read off pretty well. Their thing just doesn't flow for me. Doesn't flow. Anyways, California backlash. California backlash. So, see, Tio show up yet? Nope, still not here. Still not here. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. It's going to be a huge recipe for disaster. Like, so if I went to go buy, right? Let's go see. I want to go buy 4 new tires for my F-150. 4 tires, F-150 Lariat. I also didn't realize that the Lariat is the middle of the road, like between the working trucks and the luxury vehicles. There's like 3 other models above mine. I had no idea. I was talking with Donker, who lives in, he's only coming to the chat. He lives in he's Dutch, right? That's how we realize. I'm not sure where over there, but he's Dutch. So he wants to go buy a Ram 1500. That's his dream truck. And when I asked him, I said, why don't you just get F-150? He says, well, F-150s are more like when I see Mexicans or somebody working outside, it's F-150s because those are the knockoffs, or they feel like the knockoffs of the Ram. Doesn't realize that that's usually the other way around, right? Except for like the F-150 is the most used truck in America because they're fleet vehicles. And if something dies on them, who is out? Who is out for what? Oh, you mean my title, Kurtzman? He was the guy that destroyed Star Trek. He destroyed Star Trek. He got fired officially today. So I was pretty happy today. All right. So if I want to buy, oh shit, Jesus Christ, those are expensive. Goodyear Wrangler Duratrax, $526 per tire. I don't know where they're getting this $80 tire thing. Maybe those are for like regular. I haven't owned a regular car in like 20 years. So I've owned SUVs or trucks. So if I wanted to go, I don't know. If I wanted to go and get tires for my F-150, oh, well, is that for 4 tires? $816 for 4 tires? Ain't too bad. Set of 4 tires, that's Walmart for Starfire Solaris APs. But I know for me, I want ATRs. Oh, that's not too bad. Set of Pirelli Scorpions, $739. That's not too bad. That's a pretty good price, actually. Because I heard like tires went down in price some a little bit. I didn't believe it, so I guess that's true. For my Explorer, I think I paid like $700 for all 4. I told Trappers I was going to send him my bow and car parts. He's like, please don't. I am going to send him, I think, my bow to have him Cerakote it. I like the way it looks, but I feel like he could do a pretty cool job. Oh, God. I was hearing noise somewhere and it's destroying my ears. All right. Tires on my truck are about $250, so around $1K for a set. Yeah, my tires right now on my truck are pretty good. I don't need to update them anytime soon. You have a lesbian cat or a lesbian vegan cat, it's probably going to die soon, so I wouldn't worry. I would feed the cat meat if you want it to live, because cats are carnivores. And I love animals, especially the tasty ones, but yeah. Give me a second here while I refresh. I'm looking for more stuff going on. I'm looking for, what is the news today? Apparently a group of illegal aliens are trying to ransack grocery stores. Man, I wouldn't mind a Doberman. I think my next dog I get is either going to be a Jack Russell Terrier or a like a little hound. What the hell were they called? The floppy ears? What are the dog called? The floppy ears? Beagle? Yeah, Beagle. There we go. That's what I want. Hey, thanks for the coffee, baby. I do. I'm going to be shaking like Michael J. Fox in a minute. Do you guys know what Michael J. Fox's favorite ice cream is? He doesn't know either. He keeps dropping it on the ground. That's horrible. You know, Michael J. Fox is going to be in a new movie called The Man That Can't Hold Still. You know, after his career in Hollywood, he has a new career at Home Depot. He's a paint shaker. Okay, I'll stop. Oh, poor Michael J. Fox. Though I heard he did do, was Back to the Future 4 or something? Got shot or they got it done? I'm not sure if it ever actually came out. Back to the Future 4. Oh, no, apparently they wanted to do it, but the original creator said there is no official fourth movie. Co-creator Bob Gale and director Robert Zemeck own the rights and repeatedly stated that the fourth film or reboot will never happen because the original trilogy is complete. But the rest of them are, but apparently there's a viral trailer online that was fan-made with Tom Holland. A black and tan? What two do you have inside your black and tan? Oh, are we talking about animals or are we talking about beer? I don't know. I have a little black cat, which I have no idea what breed she is, because she's a crack house cat that came off the street. And she is great and has Miss Beans. Oh, we're talking about the doggos. But I think, I know Trappers wants me to go get a lab. And the problem is with a lab is like, I don't really have the yard for a lab. I'd have to clean it up a lot. And I don't really have the time to go take him out for walks and stuff. So I'd feel bad. But like a little dog, I think I love my Jack Russell Terrier. Like my little dog Ranger, which was funny because my nephew named him Ranger. People used to think, oh, it's your dog, you named him Ranger because you have a Ranger truck. And I was like, I didn't name him. My nephew named him for Power Ranger. I am using GTLA AirWatch. It's you can go to GTLAirwatch, I think .com. They the dude randomly sent it to me on X that he worked on, and it's to track only helicopters in the area and boats, but it's to help well, I guess I just talked to Trappers, so I gotta compress my bow down and get the strings off of it and the cams and get it to I got to get it to strip down so he can take it and Cerakote it. I don't know what to do with it though. Hopefully you can do something cool. If you guys haven't already went to trapperoutdoors.com, they do a lot more than just sell gun stuff. They sell, they do Cerakoting, they do gunsmithing, they build their own stuff. They do all kinds of shit. Apparently he's working the dogs. He's training them right now. But he trains hunting dogs also. So the reason I like working with trappers, I had 2 other gun shops that have approached me and tried to get me to work with them. One was a buddy of mine I grew up with shop, and they're in Arkansas, or not Arkansas, they're in Idaho. So they're actually like driving distance to me. And they're like, oh yeah, we should work together, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, one, you've known me since we were both little kids, and you didn't offer me a thing till after I got trappers. And 2, you guys aren't really offering me anything, so I'm going to pass. And 3, like they do gun stuff, but like, I don't know. It just didn't feel like a good fit. And then the other one was a shop I never even heard of that was in Oregon. And I was like, nah, but Trappers does, like his family does horse rehabilitation also. So when I went over there, they have like a beautiful ranch, huge ranch. Does have their own gun range, but huge ranch. And they take care of like race horses and working horses and stuff like that, which is pretty damn cool to see. And the thing is, which would suck if I lived over there because Yuffie would be at the ranch all day. I'd be at the gun shop working all day. But I guess I wouldn't suck because I'd have an income. But actually what I would do is talk to trappers if I was living over there to become their bow tech. And so I could start doing all their hunting bows and set those up and get those all prettied. But not only do they do all that, but they also do stuff with dogs. And like their main thing is hunting and fishing. So not much fishing, but mainly hunting, especially like training hunting dogs. And so they also go out, and I think they own a bunch of land too, where they go out duck hunting, which is pretty damn cool. So every year, I think he says he pulls in like a couple hundred ducks that they take out, and they can train the dogs up, which is great. And they get the dogs out there. And I think he gets like a certain amount of them that they breed out, they train, and then they sell them off. Dutch Bros. Yuffie brought me a Dutch Bros coffee. It's a Mexican. Okay. Where's it storming at? Maybe I'll throw that on. Where's the storm going? We can do some storm stuff. We ain't doing much else. Let's see what's going on with some of those storms. Where's that? Oklahoma? That guy's driving. He had 70 people. Let me go see. You can ask him. Can I restream you and send people over? I do for screens. And we'll see what he says. Trying to be nice. I'm trying to see what he says so I can use the stream. I'm waiting for him to see what he says. Oh, there he goes. Is that the news channel? He's like, no, you can't restream me. I have deals with other people. You have 1.5K subscribers, bro. Like, just take what you can get. Well, I'm not going to send people over to you then, dude. Like, no, I have deals with other people. What other people? Your channel is tiny. Like, take what you can get, bro. Yeah, I'll see about getting your local news channel over there. Again, we have a bunch of fires still near me. I guess some of the fires, this is Calaveras County, but some of the fires near me, they had them almost under control. And then Oh, the damn fire freaking ignited again. Yeah, Jake is coming to Minneapolis. Whenever Jake shows up, apparently people want to try to fight him and do other dumb shit. It's, you know, it's weird publicity stuff. Look at that hose, is big long hose. Yeah. Over there putting out the fire. Again, over here where we're at, the fire was almost under control. What ended up happening is some idiot decided that he's going to go fly a drone, crashed the drone, restarted a fire. Then we had an airplane crash, started a new fire. Then the winds picked up, and currently we're in the shelter in place for like most of the area. Because they're trying to get people to stop going out and accidentally making more goddamn new fires. But also, not to be a dick, but if you're not going to let me restream you, I'm not going to send people over to your stream. I think that's like, I don't know. I don't think that's mean. I feel like that's, you know. I think that just kind of makes sense, because if I'm able to use your stuff, I don't mind sending people over there. Well, there's one guy who apparently was chasing, I just got. And, yeah, I was like, you know, I don't know. Ooh, carrots. Thank you. If you brought me some baby carrots to eat. I don't mind like restreaming people and then like sending people over, because it's like, you're letting me use your stuff, so I don't mind like helping you out, right?
Something we always get here in Southeast Louisiana, but interesting when we do. Now, at the moment, some possible small hail with this.
It's a give and take.
Really, from Metairie, Old Jefferson. No, there's not much activity as you go farther west into JP. So Kenner, some light rain over the airport. River Ridge, Elmwood, Harahan, Dry, Old Jefferson, some heavy rainfall across the city up toward the lakefront, and then going out toward New Orleans East, Michoud down toward Chalmette, Tarrytown on the West Bank, and this particular cell is continuing to sink down toward the southeast. So at the moment, a warned area that only really includes, even from the French Quarter not included in that, the threat of some gusty winds here, more so over the Michoud or south of Michoud, and then down toward Chalmette, and continuing south as we get into more Belle Chase, Poydras, and eventually that would be over the very marshier areas of Plaquemines Parish, and then possibly, if some of that builds a little bit more east to the Biloxi Marsh. So at the moment, a new warning has been issued that does include Belle Chase, getting in on the heavy rainfall now. The main threat from these storms, aside from that small hail, which, as I've mentioned, usually not the type that would cause any damage, the gusty winds. And that has been our main threat going through this afternoon and evening. We do need the rainfall. It does help to alleviate now our late evening temperatures. As we had already gotten to a high of 97 degrees, at least we are getting some late evening cooling rain, maybe a little evening and nighttime relief on your AC. The thunderstorms we've had on the North Shore, kind of a pocket of some heavier rain right in central St. Tammany Parish to the east of Folsom, moving toward Covington. Abita will continue in a direction toward Mandeville, and then eventually Lacombe. Now, those storms will continue moving south if that particular cell holds together, moving out over the lake and possibly continuing on into the metro area. But as I'd mentioned, north, southwest Mississippi, done. Things are finally settling down now. And thankfully, while the computer models have not been perfect with regard to the placement of the storms and precise timing, it has indicated that as we get beyond 9, 10 o'clock, rain will be done. So going later into the night tonight and into the overnight, we're not going to be continuing to be threatened by any severe weather after, say, 9, 10 p.m. This won't be something that we're continuing to monitor through the rest of the night. Much needed rainfall, yes, welcomed rain. It does help to cool things off. And then as we head into the weekend, we're going to be much, much drier. So let's analyze this storm real quick and the potential for any hail. As I'd mentioned, kind of outside the warned area, the potential, say, right around Old Jefferson, 9 Mile Point in on the West Bank, there may be the possibility of pea to quarter size hail. Pea to quarter size hail maybe in parts of the West Bank. Algiers Point, kind of the pea size that we have over parts of the city out toward New Orleans East, the Lakefront Airport, nearing Chalmette now. And the gusty winds, the other ongoing threat within these storms. Thankfully, these are not the type of storms that would rotate. We don't have supercell thunderstorms. Rotation is not an issue, so these are not going to become tornadic. This will continue as it moves south to start clearing the city. If those storms in St. Tammany Parish do hold together, then perhaps we could see those move across the metro area shortly as well. Thankfully, as I said, while we have had countless severe thunderstorm warned storms, primarily for the gusty winds, so far we have not had any reports of
He does like the
those gusty winds, and usually 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
He does like it. It seems like
it usually is not anything very significant or very widespread, but still watching that heavy cell over the city now, moving south, as well as the heavy rainfall right around Waldheim, moving into Covington, St. Benedict, out toward the Abbey, and then continuing south, kind of a little band that's a bit heavier right over I-12, continuing down toward 190 and then into the Lacombe area. These will continue pushing south as well if they hold together, moving into the metro area. We'll watch this as we continue through the rest of this evening and into the night tonight, but thankfully, as we are joining you for our 10 p.m. newscast, I think most of the rainfall will be settled, and we are looking ahead to a hot and mostly dry, but maybe a little less humid weekend coming up. For now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin.
Well, I was muted. I'm over here eating carrots, but you don't want to hear me chomping. Thank you, Bio, for the wonderful $20 reduce. I'm in the middle of setting up like a corner of my garage, like a gym.
Bionic Fire Truck has just tipped $20. From Bionic Fire Truck and Smash Fitness, thank you for entertaining us through cardio.
You're very welcome. We have a really nice treadmill that does inclines and declines, and does like it's, you know, the wind changes as you're speeding up and all kinds of silly shit. We got it for my in-laws. But we have this old workbench that someone put in there, which they only did 2 doors, and the other ones are just crap that people shove shit in inside. Forget about it. Ripping that off and making it like a corner of the garage to a little gym. Because I was like, man, all these people are out there working out. I need to be doing that. I need to get back into shape. Getting inspired. Get inspired by you guys doing stuff. So, what in the hell? What the hell's... What in the hell is going on with this? Bakersfield Fire? Are you doing a rescue? What the hell's going on here? Hold on, I'm gonna throw this on. I don't know what's going on in Kern County, but like... So this is Kern County Crime Watchers. Yeah, man, I need to know what to do for my back and then my right leg too. The one that's still healing. So I don't know if they're doing like a live rescue or what. So this is Kern County, Bakersfield, or right around Bakersfield. They got people out there, they got the boats. Maybe they're already done.
Shit, guys. Everyone's out of here. Got another rescue. Let's go. Let's go, guys. We got a rescue. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Got rubber. Come on, Papa, water on me. Come on.
I need to really unmute myself. I need to, yeah, exactly. So I was actually talking the whole time. So this guy's in a Tesla driving from LA to Las Vegas. 95% self-driving Tesla. And I was thinking to myself, right, like, if I could, because Blue Cruise is a new thing coming out for Ford, and every vehicle is now moving to self-driving. I was saying, like, how many of you have actually been in a self-driving car, right? And at first, it kind of freaks me out, but driving from Oregon to Alabama, especially those long stretches of road, you know, it might be safer because, like, you get sleepy, you get fatigued, whatever. But with the self-driving car, at least it's doing everything for you. You're just making sure it doesn't do anything stupid, right? But I know when I had like the adaptive cruise control in a few vehicles driving across there, oh my God, did that save you? Be able to stop, slow down automatically, keep your distance. So the thing is it drives for other people too. Especially again, the long distance driving, like only like around city, I'd be like, all right, I'm taking over. Especially again, like you're saying, the way people drive, but doing it like across country, I don't know, man. I feel like it'd be easier. Because I think 2028, they're coming out with an F-150 that does it. F1. Also, if any of you see a machinist around, tell him I'm looking for him. I texted him a few times. He hasn't got back to me. Oh, I was trying to get Carol comes in here. I was like, she's looking at a new vehicle. And I was like, you need a self-driving car. She's like, why? I'm like, because I'm worried about the other people around you. Because this is what Ford's doing.
Is hands-free highway driving. that helps make driving less stressful and more enjoyable. It's available on 97% of controlled access highways called Blue Zones. Once you're on the highway, press the Adaptive Cruise Control button on the steering wheel. Wait for the hands-free icon, and Blue Cruise helps with accelerating, braking, and steering, so you can let go and relax while continuing to watch the road. Blue Cruise uses a driver-facing camera to help ensure your eyes stay on the road. The driver attention system was designed to remind you to pay attention, giving you visual and audio prompts if your eyes are off the road for too long. Adaptive Cruise Control already adjusts your speed to the flow of traffic.
I want it. I'm not gonna lie, I want it. I want it. Again, driving across the country, I'm not gonna lie, I would make my life so much easier. I wonder if I could add it to my 2018. Let's see. Can I add Blue Cruise to my 2018? It's probably going to be a fat no. Yeah, I only want it for the high. Again, like majority of the time I'm driving, going across the country, it's on there. No, you can't. God damn it. Factory installed hardware, including specialized radar sensors, digital camera system, and an infrared driver-facing eye tracker. I could add all that in. That's not that bad. Right? I mean, I don't see why not. You just add it in and you update the computer.
Blue Cruise builds on that as a driver assistance feature, not a replacement. It helps monitor your position on the road and scans the traffic around you.
So it probably drives better than the majority of people.
And can shift you over in the lane, providing a little extra room when you need it. Lane Change Assist lets you change lanes hands-free.
What?
Tap the turn signal, and Blue Cruise checks the lane before helping you move over.
I don't know if I like that. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Blue Cruise on the F-150, helping reduce stress and making driving more enjoyable.
You're probably right, Lethal, but then I have to deal with the chauffeur. And I already drive with a buddy of mine who Yuffie wants to strangle. So, in fact, even the next trip, she's like, I don't want him driving with us. I was like, oh, man. So I've been in 2 auto-driving vehicles on the highway. It's pretty cool. Like, I know everyone's like, I'm against the AI, but sometimes, I mean, like, sometimes it makes sense, because I know there's big rigs now that are coming out that are all AI. Well, they're not even AI, it's just scanning the road. So.
So if there were peaceful protests on Saturday for the militant parade, President Trump would allow that?
Of course the president supports peaceful protests. What a stupid question. Raquel. That is based in the Middle East. That's what these...
Secretary Hexet was complaining that it was front page news about these 6 service members who were killed.
That's not what the secretary said, Caitlin, and that's not what the secretary meant, and you know it. You know you are being disingenuous. There is not... We've never had a secretary of defense who cares more...
Drones get through or tragic things happen. It's front page news. I get it. The press only wants to make the president look bad.
Yeah,
as you know, we cover the deaths of U.S. service members under every president.
The press does only want to make the president look bad. That's a fact. Especially you. No, listen to me. Especially you and especially CNN. And the Secretary of Defense cares deeply about our war fighters and our men and women in uniform. He travels all across this country to meet with them, to connect with them, and your network has hardly ever probably reported on that. Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed her unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases, but fake, like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. As for your second question, Caitlin, I think who is saying that she would release this to try to boost her standing with the president? Who has said that?
Well, the president has publicly undermined her when it came to Iran. He said she was wrong. He told me that she didn't know what she was talking about. That was on Air Force One on camera.
The only people who are suggesting that the Director of National Intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet, and it is not working. I will just answer your question directly. I am with the President of the United States every day. He has the utmost confidence in Director Gabbard. He always has. He continues to, and that is true of his entire cabinet, who is all working as one team to deliver on the promises this president made by his consent.
Is on the record talking about issuing preemptive pardons to these people.
But was he aware of his signature being used on every single pardon? That's a question you should ask the Biden
Is there
White
any
House.
evidence on that he wasn't aware of it?
You're a reporter. You should find out. Sean.
Tim Walz, Governor Walz, saying last night he frequently checks Tesla stock. In doing so, to quote, give me a little boost during the day. How should Americans view politicians who take pride in the downfall of an American car company?
I think that's quite sad, but I think Governor Walz unfortunately is living a sad existence after his devastating defeat on November 5th.
She's going to be missed. Like, she was great. She's going to be missed because she really know how to slap around those reporters. But unfortunately, she's going to be missed. Those are some of the highlights that came out. People are putting together little compilations showing, how much she's done. And again, a lot of the media, as we've seen before, like to spread distrust. Let's start some shit. So I thought that would be a nice little thing to see. More people are buying guns this year and last year. Seems Americans are starting to arm themselves a lot heavier than they were previously. And it looks like the more every time there is a gun law that gets repealed, more people buy more firearms, helping with the economy and making sure that certain businesses stay not only in the United States, but come back to the United States. So that's good. If you haven't already done it, you're not armed, you haven't bought ammo. Again, our European friend over there talking to me going, well, he said, you guys probably have shot more rounds than than I have. And I said, I'll probably shot more rounds in this week than you have. He's like, oh, when I come to America, I'm going to be outdoing you because you don't have enough money. You don't have enough money to keep firing. I'll eventually catch up. It's like, well, Trappers hooks me up and takes care of me for ammo so I can keep out their training. That's the other reason I forgot to mention earlier about, stuff with like me and Trappers. He's been watching forever. And then he became a sponsor. So, it's a nice give and take. But if you guys haven't already went out there and stocked up, I know that when the when the COVID hit, people were out there scrambling to get ammo. Trappers had ammo. Trappers was like, we're stocked. What do you guys need? Silly people didn't take the advantage. Instead, they're like, well, I went to my local gun shop and tried to suck the guy off for some nines. And it was really weird too, because during that time, the ammo that was missing is 38s were really hard to get. And I was like, what the shit? There's some other ones too that were really hard to come by. Meaning of time makes muscles just last as many rounds of your hands when you happen to be in the area doesn't really do that. Just doing what? Meaning of time. Are you saying the more you go out there and you shoot? Yeah. Yeah, 9mm were stupid and hard to come by. I have 2 ammo cases, 2 30 caliber ammo cases? I think it's 30 caliber ammo cases. 2 of the little plastic ones full of 9s. I have one full of 42, but that's going with the 40 to my in-laws. Yeah, so, and then 22s were kind of hard to come by. Even the milk cartons of 22s. But one of the best things you could do is you have a gun, go use it. Go train with it. Holy shit, glad you deciphered that. Yeah, I sometimes type all kinds of wonky too, so I get it. Especially when my right hand moves slightly slower than my left one when typing. So I'll like type shit and be like, what in the hell was I trying to say? But no, I get it. Like, so if you're going out there, the best thing you could do with whatever firearm you have is just go use it, right? Use it a lot. Use it whenever you can. And like, I know people do that, come over and be like, I'm new to guns. What should I buy? I don't know. I'm not you. Like, happy Friday, Polybius. How are you doing? I hope things got better for you, by the way. I haven't mentioned what happened to you to anybody on the stream because that's your business, and I don't know who's doing what, lurking and being stupid. So I kept all that stuff hush hush. But I hope you're doing good and all that stuff is kind of resolved. And I hope things are going all right for you. And I'm sorry, everybody. Like, I keep sniffling and stuff because the smoke here is just killing me sinus-wise. Bought a reloader kit and put it on the casters during the lockdown. Rolled it in and out of the living room, watching Western and loading 350 grain 45 long Colts. That's pretty badass. My brother gave me, I have an entire reloading setup. I have nowhere to put it because I need a nice steady, bench to start it on. But I guess I could do the caster thing. I like that idea, actually. I might steal that from you. I actually really like that idea. Like, the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, oh, damn, that's smart. It got worse. Well, if things get really bad, let us know and maybe we can help you with something. I don't know what. Maybe get you to a better place with a new career. I don't know, but we could try. I'm all about trying to help people out. Even though everybody thinks I'm a mean old man. But if things get really bad, we'll see if we can reach out to our community and try to help you out. Just picked up a Rock Island M206 338 for my 80-year-old mom to keep at home. Nice. I got my dad what the hell does he have? He has a 44 mag, but he's like 86, I think now. I believe. I got to double check. And I kind of don't want him shooting that. Okay. Well, if you need help, let me know. You know how to reach out to me. We're always here to help you. Even though you're a mean right-wing lady. Or whatever the hell crazy shit they were saying. Us crazy centrists here who are preparing for the end of the society. But we're always here to help you if you need. Just let us know, okay? And you can always reach out. Hey. I still can't believe that. When I got told that, I was like, holy shit. Like, again, I don't know what you want me to mention or what, but it's one of the things when I started reporting all this, they used to send me bomb threats. They showed up on my house, like all kinds of stuff. So I get it. Totally get it. Totally get it. Let's see. What kind of gun do you have, Polybius, by the way? And if you say none, we need to fix that. And you go to Trappers and we need to fix that. No, Spank. So what is the best gun for anybody out there is the one that fits in your hand and you can easily use. That is what makes the best firearm you could possibly get, right? Nothing else matters. The only thing that matters, again, is if it fits in your hand, you can reload it and you can shoot it. That's what matters. Doesn't matter the caliber, doesn't matter the size, doesn't matter the manufacturer. If for some odd reason you go out there and the Yeet Cannon is the gun of your choice, for some bizarre ass reason, when you were at the store and you saw everything else and you're like, that brick piece of shit over there is the one I want, more power to you, I guess. Because like, look, if I was working at a gun shop and someone came in, they're like, I want the Yeet Cannon, I'll be like, all right. Can I just do it? Not a piece of crap? I'm not going to screw my sale over. I'm going to be all for it. You know what I mean? I'm going to be down. You have a 9 and 45. Nice. Spank, go return that back to grandma. Go put it back. Go give it back to her, Spank. But it's whatever fits best for your hand, what you can use. Like we've had people come in here and we had a few women being like, I want to go to a gun shop and get a gun. What should I buy? And it's like, well, I don't know what you should buy. I'm not you. my hands are different than yours. I shoot different than you. The best thing to do ever, if you have anybody that doesn't know what to go buy, yeah, anything but a high point. But you know, if they're heart set on it, I don't know what to say. Well, you know, there's no drama here, so again, you're always welcome to hang out here. That's weird, Polybius. That's weird. Yeah, if you can go to a gun shop that has a range or a place to shoot, like that's the one thing I would say that if trappers had would be awesome, but I don't think they do. At least I have never seen it. If they had that indoor range, but I don't think there might be room. I don't know. I don't know if that would even make you more money or just make it, you know, more liable. I don't know. Well, so the reason is like, so I have my Canic and I have my Steyr, right? And I love both of those because the way they fit my hand. Like the Canic is just solid. And like, I feel like I could pistol whip someone with it pretty good. And like, it's my everyday carry. The Steyr though is like really light and almost like a space gun. I'm holding the Canic in my hand right now. Like, yes. Like the Canic, how can I explain this? The Canic just feels like wherever I point it, it levels out right. And it's easy to aim. And I got this kind of shitty ass flashlight on it. Trapper said he's going to send me a holster and a light eventually, but they've been like super busy. I don't like bugging them too much, even though I send them random texts and stupid shit. What I can. But, you know, it feels nice because it's just like wherever I aim it. And I don't have very big hands and it fits my hands super comfortably. Kurtzman is the guy who was in charge of Star Trek for a while. And he's no longer there anymore, and it made my day. So, but the Canic feels great in my hand. It feels nice and sturdy, and it feels like a duty weapon, where the Steyr is like light and feels like a sci-fi thing. And it's also a very, very, very good gun, but they're both great. Yeah, it's a good thing he's gone. That's my guy celebrating. So, the Steyr, the Canic is a knockoff of a Walther for half the price. My, what the hell is this one? I always forget what it is. This is a Canic TP9 Elite SC. It's awesome. It's awesome. They were going to give me a SIG, and I was like, you know, the SIG's cool, but my eyes are, you know, I'm kind of looking at the, the Canic more. He's like, all right. So they Cerakoted and got all pretty. So now I have a nice Canic. And so like, if it was me and I was able to, and I was going to tell somebody like, hey, here's what I would buy, right? Here's what I would buy. I would get them to just go to the store, hold a bunch of stuff and shoot them. Yeah. Look up the Canic, I'll just drop the link. That'll be easier. Let me find the link here. We need a bigger desk. Let me find the link on Trappers. Man, there's nothing going on. I've almost done a 3-hour show. It ain't bad. It ain't bad. We got a low number today, but whatever. At least people want to hang out and they get entertained. That's all I care about. And if I make some money, that's even better. Yeah, I have, so, I mean, my one I carry on me is dark blue. Please don't try to smell my dick. That's a little weird. I'm a happily married man. If you could not smell my dick, I think that would be A-okay. Am I in the subcompact? I think it is. There you go. There's the link on Trapper's website. You can go see. I think that's mine. I always forget if mine's the subcompact or the compact. Yeah, that's mine. But I have well, they're 15 round mags, but I also have the thing where my pinky sits, and like it fits perfect in my hand. Bez, please tell me you're also not trying to smell my dick. I appreciate the candor, folks, but no thank you. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words. And then the other one is the L9A2 by Steyr. And I don't know. It took me a long time to find out like what pistols I really like. And this one, like when you see it, it's going to look like something out of a goddamn sci-fi film. And I love it. I need to send off the slide to Trapper so they can put they got to machine a RMA into it. In fact, I have a big ass box of shit I need to send him now. Starting to total them up. He told me no car parts. That's the only thing. Even though he's doing some right now for somebody. I think they're expanding the shop to do more stuff, which is great. So that's good. So if you look at that one, the Steyr, the L9A2. Let me just go so you can look up a video. YouTube, don't get mad at me. Where is... I'm trying to find a video of somebody that's... oh, here we go. This one's perfect. This is a good video of it. It's right from Steyr. Look at that thing. Look at that. Oh, there's just something so sci-fi and cool about it. I really like. So, but that one is around this $200 to $300 more than the Canic. So the Canic is my everyday carry because it just fits better. And but man, if you hold both of those, holy shit, you notice the difference. I don't know if Tim at Trapper's ever got one in stock, but I think next time I'm out there, I'm going to bring it with me so we could shoot it and show them. The only thing it doesn't have on it that I want is a threaded barrel for a suppressor and then an RMA at the top. Besides that, really cool piece, really cool pistol. And then, you know, speaking of what we carry and what I don't, I have I got a pistol from my best friend's father who passed, which is my 45 HK. Then I have the Walther 22 over there that for Yuffie to use and train with. Then my 357. I had a 40 XD, but that's being sold to my in-laws. And with the ammo. So they'll have all that. So I'll be good. Yeah, it's like a Blade Runner gun. Exactly. But man, it fits in your hand so goddamn well. And so does the Canic. Like I was holding both of them. I was like, man, these are both great firearms. And like, I don't like Glocks. I feel like they fit weird in my hand and they fire weird from my hand. That's a personal thing. Nothing wrong with Glocks. Not bad. Just not for me. SIGs, depending on the SIG, some of them feel kind of bulky and big. And I don't know if you noticed, but the dovetail to the trigger is really small there for where the mag goes. So if you don't have like big old meaty hands, and you have somewhat smaller hands like me, like, I don't know, I got like medium to small hands for a man. But if you have smaller hands, that stuff like that's better, right? You don't want anything that's like holding a baseball bat. Well, in Die Hard, yeah. I mean, realistically, they put you through a scanner now, so just see if it's on there. But you're not supposed to be carrying your gun out there. Actually, you know, I'm looking at the Steyr right now. It's only $649. They'd have to special order it. And so Steyr makes a full-size compact and then subcompact of the same pistol. It just, the barrel gets shorter and the handle gets a little bit shorter, but still a great piece. Great piece. But I would say after all of them, like if I have to go start shooting rounds down at the range, between the XD I had and like the Canic, man, a 4.54 casual, that is a big ass round. How would you like to have a 4.54 casual in a semi-automatic handgun? Then you could dress up in like a big red coat and a big hat and hunt vampires. Oh wait, no, that's the anime. Never mind. Ignore that. Never mind. Let's see what else is going on today. I'm trying to make the show at least 4 hours. That's my goal. 4-hour mark. Yeah, I wouldn't want a Desert Eagle, to be honest, because the thing is like you got to shoot this thing for a while, and you know, with a big caliber. Even though there's like people out there be like, I have a 10 millimeter. How often do you shoot it? Well, I don't really like shooting it. Well, why the fuck do you have it then? Like, I have it so it sits on my shelf and collects dust. Okay. Sounds great. Sounds wonderful. Each to their own. But I know for me personally, I want somebody who can go shoot a lot. That's a big pistol. It's a revolver though, right? Because it's 4.54 casual. I believe it's a revolver. Big ol' ass long slugs too. Man, oh man, there is not shit going on today. Some guy in Illinois driving around. Let's see. Exploring the streets of Philadelphia. I'm just hoping for like a chase or something. Only 5 cylinders? Oh, so it's not gigantic? Can't say I blame you. I don't know, folks. Maybe I'll just call it a night. There ain't shit going on. I'm looking. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to take a break for a while. I'm going to hop off. I don't really want to watch a poor victim over there get thrown in an ambulance. I'm going to call it a show for now, and I might come back later. The PSA Dagger 9mm is nice. It's also cheap. If you're trying to get the first gun, not spend a lot of money, PSA 9mm is not bad. It's a Glock knockoff, so I mean, you can't go wrong, right? Can't really go wrong. But I think I'm going to call it a night for right now, and I will be on later. Go to trapperoutdoors.com if you guys haven't already done it. Pick up some stuff. Tell them Wolf sent you. I'd very much appreciate it. I will talk to you all later. I'll probably do another show tonight. We're going to take a little break for a while. And I will see you all in a bit, maybe. You're going to bed. Good night. You still should shoot me an email, so I have your email, buddy girl. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. You have a good night. If you guys want to donate, I appreciate it. Even though it's a slow night tonight. Love you all. Thanks for being here. And